Sharks of the Corn? Virus Shark? Cocaine Shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
Happy New Year. Welcome back to Bad Movies, Worst People. I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Bleep.
And this is Blind Fury.
Sure.
Put my face real close to a kid's face when I talk.
Oh, can we say how many and have a seats?
Yeah, but I think they're innocent from this gentleman. It's
They
just that like
are.
he's playing a dramatic blind actor, but me and Bleep watched it together and we're just like, oh man, this is uncomfortable. Kiss.
Eskimo kisses, rubbing noses.
So I've kept this to myself because I watched this by myself, and I really wish somebody was with me when I watched it. I feel like it would have been a lot better. But I went in this totally blind.
Oh, intend your puns, please.
I was really thinking it was a Will Forte movie from 2010. I never even looked at the cover. He put the movie in the
But what made you think
Yes, I put the movie in the VCR.
An old VHS copy.
Dude, no wonder you went in blind.
And I had no idea what to expect, and
wait.
I was pleasantly fucking pleased
What
with
the
this.
fuck made you think it was a Will Forte movie?
Some Blind Fury with like a blonde guy with sunglasses and a fucking sword.
Because
Why
all
would
she
that
could
not
see
be?
was the DVD menu, or
Oh,
the Blu-ray
wow.
menu.
I didn't
Okay.
even look at that.
I don't know.
I'm talking 2010. Will Forte's doing more stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't he do something where he was blind, or
yeah,
maybe
he
it was just
did-
something where he was slow?
Isn't
or,
he
I don't
like a
know.
detective in something or a cop?
MacGruber.
MacGruber. There we go. That's what I was picturing. That character being Blind Fury.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised with this.
Rutger Hauer is not Will Forte.
No.
I was going to ask, do you recognize Rutger Hauer from anything?
He did look familiar. I recognize that kid off
I'll
the
tell
fucking
you
bat.
one thing you should know Rutger Hauer from is Buffy.
The movie.
The movie. He's
Yeah,
the
but it's-
Dracula.
I haven't. Okay, that does make sense. I haven't seen that since
Fair enough.
the 90s.
That's
Yes, Rutger Hauer also in Blade Runner, which you
Mhm.
probably wouldn't recognize him from.
No.
Uh,
That kid though, immediately I was like, is that son from Step by Step?
Sure shit is.
Oh, Rutger Hauer was also in Sin City. Maybe you recognize him from that.
Yeah,
he definitely had
was
the face
Cardinal
that
Rourke.
I knew.
yeah, which is Booth
Also,
Powers.
Rest in Pictures,
Powers Booth.
2019.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Rest in pictures, buddy.
But this movie, Blind Fury, came out in 1989. It's based on a Japanese series of films, Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, I don't know, 20-something of them. I keep wanting to buy the box set from Criterion, but then I'm like, do I need 20 more movies? I do, but
Well, you don't. Where are we going to put those?
it'll be like a box thing, so it'll have to be on top of one of these shelves. I
Yeah.
got no more room.
Where are you going to put those?
Oh my God, how did you fill up all the shelves?
I didn't. That wasn't me. That was someone else.
Shows you how observant
He's
I
got
am.
Blu-ray gnomes.
I just
house
fucking
is
noticed.
infested.
It's my Vinegar Syndrome
Addiction?
subscription.
When are they going to pay us for this?
I'm trying. But this movie came out in 1989, rated R for hard violence
Yeah.
and blood.
Yeah.
No boobs.
No. That's why it's sad.
Only 86 minutes.
Runtime of this movie's tight.
Yeah, flew
Super
through.
tight. As
Oh.
tight as those spandex.
We can mention that our guest here, Bleep.
Yes, we have Bleep here.
He did our
What's
music
up?
for the new movies Worst People intro and outro now.
Welcome.
The newer ones.
Thank you. Glad
For-
to be here with you guys.
Yeah, for people that don't really know or haven't heard, Bleep and Bleep are the couple that I watch movies with, and this is half of them.
He's only half a couple.
He's
Weird.
only half the couple. I want you to get to the cast of this movie.
Well, let's
Okay.
talk about the director real quick.
All
Phillip
right.
Noyce.
Noyce.
Who directed this? Phillip Noyce.
Is it NYOCE?
Noyce.
That's how our artist Ronnie spells her last name.
Nice.
Noyce.
The one that did one of the shirts.
Did the
Noyce.
one of the shirts for us? Yeah.
Not that one.
No, the orange one with the cutout.
When we're all in
cutout look.
the theater.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He directed This was his first American film. He's an Australian director. He directed though Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, Denzel Washington and the Bone Collector,
Oh yeah.
and Salt with
Another Angelina
Yeah,
Jolie.
Jolie.
Yeah.
She's also collecting bones.
He also unfortunately did that terrible 2014 The Giver movie. Did you guys ever watch that?
Never even
No.
heard of that.
Yeah, it was based on a book that was a cool book that I read when I was a kid. It had Jeff Bridges,
I
it had
think
Meryl Streep.
I read
It
the
was
book.
awful.
I read the book.
Yeah, the book was good. The movie was trash, but hey, whatever. And also, this writer, by the way, Charles Robert Carner, he wrote Gymkata, which is a possible future episode,
Not a possible. That is a don't touch that dial.
and he wrote Witless Protection with everybody's favorite Larry the Cable Guy, Dan Whitney.
Oh.
Apparently, he
Yes.
also wrote a TV movie, like remake of Vanishing Point, which was a great like 70s car movie.
Yeah.
It has Viggo Mortensen and Jason Priestley. I saw this
What?
on his
I like
credits,
that.
and I was like, well, I'm watching that.
Put that on the block.
I'm sure it sucks. But yes, this movie, Siskel and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah?
So, we can give it 3.
We can give it 3. I don't know if you remember that Whitney's gotten one of her thumbs removed. So
Okay.
she had an extra one.
I
So if
definitely
we like
had
a
an
movie a
extra
lot, we'll borrow it and give it 3 thumbs up.
All right.
Yes.
But yeah, we've got a pretty good cast. We got Rutger Hauer. We've got Tex Cobb.
Randall
Yeah.
Tex
Randall
Cobb.
Tex Cobb. I just call him Tex. We're
I'm going to
friends.
tell you right now, we enjoy him so much that
Yes.
we watched a little mini documentary on him last night, like a
Yeah.
little 28-minute thing. The guy is fucking awesome and shocked that he's still alive.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just watched another movie with him the other day.
Golden Child, Raising Arizona.
I don't remember what it was, but I watched it.
Ace Ventura.
Liar,
I did
liar.
not watch that the other day, but I've seen it. It doesn't matter. We'll get there. It was a movie called Raw Nerve. It was that one I told you.
Did
I
I
was like,
watch with you?
You were going to bed. I was like, I think this is a horror movie, and I put it in, and the menu
She's
is
not
like
gonna
people
remember
racing
that.
cars, and I was like, what does this have to do with a horror movie?
Oh, I do remember you telling me about that.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. I don't remember shit after. I watched this last night and I was trying to remember it today, and now it's back to me now that I'm in my
I
seat.
dreamt about this movie.
I had weird fucking dreams.
Yeah, that's what I said.
We've also got Terry O'Quinn.
Yeah.
From most people would know from Lost.
Yep.
Oh, what's that chick's name? Meg
Meg Foster.
Foster.
Funny
With those
enough
insane
about Terry
eyes.
O'Quinn,
Yes.
he has been following me and the bleeps around, like movie-wise. Like, we'll just put a movie in, and we're like, holy shit, Terry O'Quinn. Like, all right, let's watch another one, or the next day, Terry O'Quinn.
So you were watching Young Guns and then Silver Bullet?
Silver Bullet. Tombstone. He was the mayor in Tombstone.
No, he's Sheriff Behan.
No. Not Tombstone, right? That
no,
was Young
Tombstone.
Guns, wasn't it? Was he in
Yeah,
Tombstone?
he's
He's
in
also
Tombstone.
in,
Okay.
he's
He's
in
also-
both.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in both. And then what was one recently was The Rocketeer. I mean, he has been, fucking goddamn toe pick. What
Oh,
is
Cutting
that?
Edge.
Cutting Edge. He
I
was
keep
the
telling
dad of
Derek
the
he
rich,
needs to
of
watch
the
He
rich
has
girl.
been following us around
Yeah.
cinematically. And you know what? I'm not getting a restraining order.
I want to do Cutting Edge on the show.
It's a good movie.
Yep.
It is
It's not
good.
really us, but
But
I'll do it
it's-
for fun.
It's
We
not
got,
that
we got
good,
a mental
but it's
health
good.
month coming
All
up.
right, yeah. Cool.
He is also the titular stepfather in the Stepfather series, which is a really fucked up series of horror movies. That's fun. But we also have Noble Willingham,
Oh,
who
man.
McCready in this, the
Uh-huh.
rich douchebag, also in Ace Ventura.
Yep. Also
It
Pet
kind of
Detective.
fucked us up because we recently watched Last Boy Scout, and he's a very similar character. So I kept getting like the plots a little conflated between the two because he's the same type of guy. Go get me that kid.
He's kind of always the same guy. He was on Home Improvement. Speaking of Tim Allen, he was John Binford.
Oh.
Same character.
Oh, the owner of
Binford,
the
yeah.
Binford
tools.
Tools,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great name, Noble.
Yeah.
It's almost
City
as awesome
Slickers.
as Treat.
It's close.
Was
City
he the
Slickers?
ranch owner in
He's
City
in
Slickers?
both
or-
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
He's the one that has the cattle drive.
I knew I recognized him from it, but I wasn't sure why.
Uh-huh.
Rolling,
Yeah.
rolling, rolling. Man, my ass is swollen. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Right.
Might do that one too. You know so much about it. Jeez.
And then, the kid
love
she
Norm.
mentioned, Brandon Call,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
playing Billy Devereaux, Terry
He-
O'Quinn's son.
The stuff that boy went through. I mean, child actors go through hell.
Oh, I thought you meant in this movie because he deserves everything he gets in
yes.
this
Yeah,
movie.
fuck this kid in
besides
this
his
movie.
mom.
Fuck the
Besides
shitbird.
his mom dying.
But in real life, IRL,
Yeah.
they had to postpone recording step by step. They were
got-
like, good reason it was a
he
mid-season
got
thing.
drive-by'd, right?
He got shot in 2 arms.
Yeah.
In both arms, and it wasn't the first time.
Wow.
Like that's what he is still
so
alive.
Maybe I saw that he's
got
his
an
IMDb
Instagram.
is like he happily runs a gas station now. You doing your own IMDb profile there, guy?
Yeah.
You doing your own?
It's kind of like when we did First Kid, and the IMDb thing was like, he is a very successful crypto boy.
That was his mom. That was his mom writing that. Like, he's such a special boy. He's so good at the crypto.
He's the goodest
He
boy.
invented World of Warcraft.
He invented Post-its.
But yeah, the
Might have
taglines.
invested resting cry face.
So there were 2 pitch taglines for this. One of them got used, but I love the other one. So it was "He don't need no dog," which turned into "He may be blind, but he don't need no dog." The other
I like
one,
the first way.
the other one, "Pray you see him before he hears you."
That's the one that was used.
No, that's what I want them to use.
Oh.
The
I
one
like
they
that one.
used
Yeah.
was the "He may be blind, but he don't need no dog."
Yeah.
Gator.
Well, I wish he would have grabbed that dog at the beginning.
Yeah, right.
We'll get there. Let's get into the movie.
Yes.
Let's dive, bleep.
So we start in Vietnam, as you'd usually do in an 80s movie.
It's 89. We got to go to Nam.
We have the nice 45-year-old Vietnam War hero, Rutger Hauer.
He's
the American hero.
He's a little wet behind the ears at 49.
Yeah, he's literally 45 when this movie came out. And I'm like,
So
you
is
guys,
he trying to play like a 20-something kid
I
right
don't,
now?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah,
I think-
young in Vietnam for sure.
Yeah.
Well, they say a day.
20 years.
Well, it's 20 years later.
20 years. So he's 45 and then take 20 off that. That's what he is in Vietnam.
he's a very aged-looking 25.
It's a hard 25. Vietnam's tough.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that did a lot of heroin and stuff. So,
Uh-huh.
but he's starting Vietnam. Rutger Hauer gets blinded, and he's crawling around,
We
screaming
actually don't
for his
see
friend.
How at first.
No,
we just see
you
him
just
crawling around.
Yeah,
Can't see.
Yeah.
I can't
and
see.
he gets found by some locals who luckily train him. One of the smallest men I've ever seen.
This was the
That
most
one
pleasant part of the
scene.
movie. But before we get to that, so we were talking, me and the Bleep were talking about maybe there's something on the cutting room floor, or they just want us to do the work. But these people are looking at his insignia, these
Yeah.
indigenous
Like the
people,
patch in particular,
and
yeah.
they're making sure that we, the audience, see them looking at this very specific patch. So maybe there's dialogue that didn't translate to like, hey, this is one of the good guys that helped us out.
Yeah.
You know, like we like these whatever that symbol was. It looked at.
He's not in the group that was burning villages.
Exactly.
Yes.
It looked like a face hugger that had a knife in its tail.
Yes.
So I wanted to see a lot more of that insignia.
They're like, he was hanging out with JCVD, not Dolph Lundgren.
Not Dolph
Not
Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren.
He's not collecting our ears, so he's okay.
But yeah, they're training him or like how to like operate as a blind person. And I just love that little tiny dude training like an 8-foot tall Rutger Hauer.
He turned Rutger Hauer into a mech suit.
Yeah, he did.
Like, I can't even describe it. It would be something like you do with your daughter. Like teach her how to dance. Like, all right, step on my feet and shadow these moves.
just
except
reverse
except it's sword fighting. It's awesome.
Rutger Hauer is hunched over so far. I'm like, you're not learning anything. That's
Yeah.
you're not gonna have muscle memory.
We were looking at
Well, he's even like leaning down and he's towering over him too. He's like a foot taller than him, and you see his knees are just bent.
Yeah, his legs are off to the side and bent, and you're still hulking over this man.
There's one point where he finishes the movements and then Rutger just hugs and rests his head on
Yeah,
this
rests his
man's
head right on
We
his
joked,
little-
I want that on a shirt. I want that to be the fucking
Let's
poster
do
of
the
this
bleep
movie.
and-
Like-
Bleep and Jack, man, get in that position.
yeah, we could do that.
We'll just hold like a bleep thing over your face.
And we do, in this training montage, we do get the beginning of a running theme of fuck with blind people. Just fuck with them a little bit, dude. Like I know
you
that
do.
they're
Yeah.
training him, but they keep swinging this gourd on a string or throwing it past him, and he's swiping at air,
Throwing it in his at his head.
and they're just like ah ha 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 ha.
No,
Yeah.
and then they speak their language, which he learns it. And I love that he didn't quite understand immediately, but they don't spoon feed you that they're trying to teach him things.
Yeah.
But they're showing you a progression that he actually understands.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
he
he's
starts
got
with
his-
his short hair and he ends up with that weird wig.
Yeah.
I mean, long hair.
I did say that. I thought that was pretty organic storytelling. They don't have to pop up like this many months later. It's like,
Yeah.
no, look at that hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You could tell.
Yeah, it had to have been months. He went all the way to town and got that wig.
It was kind of a use the force Luke too. You know, they're just trying to get him. Yeah, he's trying to
Yes.
figure it out.
Uh-huh.
The gourd is the little laser ball.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the training droid. I mean, they also do use a snake to teach him stuff, I guess.
Yeah, right.
He's
to listen.
eating a bowl of rice.
That was like when it really made sense to him when he avoided the snake. He's like, now I get it.
I get it. I get it. I can listen.
If he fails this lesson, we're done teaching him because he's dead.
There you go.
Or just listen.
Sink or swim, bitch. Sink
Fail
or
it.
swim.
So then we cut back to the United States, and he's walking down the road causing car crashes.
We're in
Walking
Florida?
right in the middle of the
Florida
road.
somewhere.
We are
It
in
looks like
Florida.
yeah.
Florida. I
It
mean,
does say
smelt
Florida.
like
where the
Florida.
fuck else do you have a fucking alligator
dog.
on the side of the road?
Oh yeah, a dog
So
alligator.
it goes back and forth because sometimes he knows exactly what's happening, but it starts with him walking in the road. Then he steps over a crushed can. Then he steps over a thing of dog
he
shit.
kicks the crush can
Kicks
Before he
steps
even
over
gets
the
to
dog
it.
shit.
Like before he gets there, so he knows some things. But
Yeah.
then he touches the crocodile with his stick. He's like, "Ooh, nice doggy," and
Well,
keeps
maybe
walking.
it's a joke.
So
yeah.
I couldn't tell. Is it a joke or is it saying like that he's not perfect? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that. But I mean, it could be either way because
could
by the time
go
you get to the
either
end
way.
of
I
this,
didn't
he's
even think
pretty
about
So if you
masterful.
think it's a joke,
so-
do you also think him walking down the road is like a hey, you look out for me?
Possibly.
Like he
Look
knows he's in the road.
He's on the road, but maybe he
Yeah.
thought there was a shoulder. He's like, I'm right at the edge, man.
Hey, he's doing
no
more
bike
by
lane,
himself
no bike
than I
lanes
do.
here.
Yeah, there are no bike lanes in Florida,
Oh fuck no.
and if there were, they'd just be
Dogs
full of
will get you.
alligators.
Yep,
Dogs
they
will get
hate
you.
Bikers.
Oh, they love bikers.
Oh, sorry, they hate bicyclists.
Yes.
Bikers pro.
Do they say at this point that 20 years has passed, or that
I
comes
think-
later?
Yeah,
I
this
think
is the
it-
part where
I-
20 years
That was
has
like
passed.
kind of a quick 20 years. I know they really showed the progression of time, and
Yeah.
with the longer wig
What
and
do you
all
think
that.
would have
But
been better than just show this as a flashback later? Like
I-
what?
I liked how they did it.
yeah.
I just thought it went really quick for 20 years.
It was
You're not wrong.
It was like
Yeah,
It
but
was
3
the
minutes.
first of two. I noticed like really hard cuts though. It was like
Yeah.
he's like I
there
cut the
works.
melon, and everybody's like, "Yay, Florida!"
Boom.
well, maybe it took him 20 years to fucking master that. Like,
He had to swim back from Vietnam,
blind. So,
but he went
I mean,
the wrong
strong
way.
current.
He ended up going through the Panama fucking with the Panama.
Are you
Canal
saying he
there.
pulled a
Yeah.
Christopher Columbus? Like a he went to China and thought he was in America?
He thought he was ending up in California, but he ended up in Florida.
Reverse
This
Columbus.
is a long
You
swim.
guys are Californians now.
Floridans are kind of like Californians with more meth,
a lot more.
and
A
guns.
lot more.
less weed, more meth.
Who's the Red Hot Chili Peppers of Florida then?
Limp
it's Kid
Bizkit?
Rock.
is that where
Kid
he's
Rock.
from? Miami?
No, he's from Michigan, but still.
But still.
He's
No,
Florida.
well, Limp
people.
He
Bizkit's
is Florida
from. Well, at least Fred Durst is from Florida.
All right.
so they're the Red Hot Chili Peppers. of
Start
Florida.
writing more
Yeah.
songs about Florida, Fred.
He doesn't want you to know he's from Florida. That's why he wears the New York hat.
Throw him off the scent.
He's on
Not
the
this-
right coast,
Not
at
this
least.
blind guy. Smell ya.
I can
could
smell
smell
the
of Florida.
We went the same way.
Yeah, we did. It's like we're married or something.
Spent a little bit of time together.
Just a little.
And I love when he's at this place, and you can tell these guys are gonna fuck with him right away. He's at this diner, and you see the big bottle that says Salsa El Diablo or
Yep.
whatever, and you're like, "Well, that's going in his burrito." And I thought he was just gonna do it by accident.
No, he knows what he's doing.
But yeah, this guy's like, "Oh, you need to have salsa for your burrito." I'm like, first of all, not salsa.
Can
It's
we
hot
can we
sauce.
can we pause real quick and talk about this bully's outfit?
Yeah.
Did you catch?
Did he
so-
get it from Dundee?
Dude, so well, I don't know, man. I don't know if Dundee would do this. He's got his shirt tied up on the side just to give a little extra right hip. And then he's got this brown, like, leather crisscross stitched vest. It's insane.
Well, he's
He's hot and sexy, man.
he's a backup for the ninjas in Miami Connection.
he's getting ready for Warriors, the sequel. Gotcha.
But
It
yeah,
was the
so
80s. Crop tops were okay. It was gender neutral.
he does pull this off well though, because the guy's like mild or hot, and he says mild. It gives him a bucket of hot sauce.
By the way, we're all in Tucson, so this burrito just looks sad.
Yeah, it does.
this looks like a burrito he got from a Jack in the Box drive-through.
It looks like a Florida burrito.
No, it looks like a Del Taco burrito with no lettuce.
Same
Yeah.
thing. That's why I said
That's a
Jack in the
Florida
Box.
burrito.
That's what I said. Florida burrito.
Well, you said Jack in the
Florida
Box.
burrito
Yeah, same
sounds
thing.
like a really bad sex move too. First date, man, she pulled out the Florida burrito.
But yeah, they dump the hot sauce on it, and he eats it, and it's hot, and then he pulls off the a little mild for me. Anything hotter?
Got anything more macho?
Yeah.
Because how
and-
do you attack this guy?
Exactly. So then they're like, well, we can't pick on him. Let's go harass this woman.
Let's steal her purse.
I'm going to go get myself a beer and a burrito, this lady says. Walks into this place, and these dudes snatch her purse and start throwing it like a keep away football thing. I'm
That's
like,
Florida.
yeah, get the fuck out of Florida.
Everybody.
This is what happens when Jeb Bush is in charge. I'm sure he wasn't around yet.
Hey, Barb, those kids are talking about our family again.
I don't know what Jeb Bush sounds like, but I'm assuming it's kind of like that, but with like a y'all at the end.
Hey, Barb, y'all hear that? It's close.
They harass her, take her purse, and it falls next to Rutger Hauer, who basically then turns around. Oh, the guy's like, give me your purse. He's like, you sure it goes with your dress?
Uh-huh.
Because, again, macho joke, right?
Yep.
And this is before sidekicks, but it's a very sidekicks fight where he's kicking these guys' ass, but making it look like an accident.
Yeah,
like,
the
oh,
drunken
sorry.
monkey thing.
drunken
Yeah.
That's what I was
going to
say, like Mako, where he's
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah.
whoopsie.
I
Oh.
tripped and my cane fell into your balls.
Yeah, and he beats the shit out of those guys. And then we get the hardest of cuts. Literally, he's like, picks up the purse and smiles, and it's just like, Reno.
Dude, Bleep was picking him out. It was just like, Jesus Christ, you're dropping him off a cliff?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, these cuts are just like a smash cut.
They had to keep it tight.
Oh, keep it toy with some screen wipes.
Yeah.
Hey, Noyce.
They put a thing
Philip,
on.
come on, Noyce.
Come on, Phillip Noyce, be toy with the wipes.
He can't do screen wipes. George Lucas stole that.
Yeah.
The
George
copyright
Lucas owns that now.
Trademark Star Wars.
They're doing screen wipes over there, and that's not really kosher, and neither am I.
I'm going to sue the shit out of you for
Does he
screen
really
wiping.
sound like Kermit?
He does.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, he really does.
Look me up sometime. Moving right along.
I'm good.
I definitely had all the prequels written.
Yeah. Biggest bullshit ever that he had those movies planned out. So you wanted brother and sister to kiss that hard?
Yeah, yeah.
That
he,
was
he
you
knew
wrote
right
that
away
in?
that they were brother and
You
sister.
sicko.
Yep. And then we're in Reno, and we meet the
Goddamn
villain
McCready.
and the damsel in distress, Terry
Uh-huh.
O'Quinn.
Uh-huh.
Hanging upside down.
Oh, he's a dangle in distress right
Yeah.
here.
And that's when I was like, hey, because I, again, didn't pay attention to names. I wanted to be I wanted to be pleasantly
It's fun that
surprised.
way, right?
I'm like, oh my God, it's this person.
Holy shit, Vincent Price is in this movie?
And I was just like, oh, that's totally that one dude. And thought of the movies that we all just named.
Yeah, for sure.
Noble Willingham playing McCready is like the head of this casino / mafia ?
And we're in Reno. We're not even Vegas. Like we
No.
are
He's
Mafia
in Reno
Junior.
going broke.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is happening?
He's Harris.
He's upset that he's not the hot shit in Reno.
Oh, you know what's funny, kind of sad too? He mentions later on when he's like, oh, look at all those people going over to Harrah's. We're going to go out of business.
Yep.
The casino that they used, I think, or maybe it's one that was just advertised. I think it's the one they used, closed, and then a couple years later was bought by Harrah's and was demolished.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, it's
Harrah's was like, we saw that movie.
he
Fuck
was
you.
right to be worried.
But yeah, so we have Tex Cobb playing Slag,
Uh-huh.
apparently. I think they said it once, but
Yeah, a couple times. Like Slag's never failed.
yeah.
Great name for a guy. For a guy.
Oh,
that
you know
looks
what
like.
movie we didn't mention that he's in? Raising Arizona.
Oh no, I'd said it when you were talking
Oh,
about what
you
you
did.
had watched.
I concur.
Okay.
I think most people would know him from that.
Yeah, it was like Golden Child, Raising Arizona.
Ernest
and then
Goes to Jail.
And then in the 90s, it was just
I
like,
do remember that one.
and then in the 90s, he's just like, I'm going to do bit parts for Jim Carrey because he was in Ace Ventura and Liar Liar,
Uh-huh.
both times just kind of as like
Guy.
rude guy. Ace Ventura, he's the one he's delivering the package to at the beginning.
Sounds broken. I bet it was something lovely though.
Get away from the door.
And they're dangling Terry O'Quinn off of this rooftop to basically threaten him into being Walter White for them.
Yep.
Which, I mean, he is because he makes
It's
blue
blue
meth.
It's
meth. blue.
It's not meth. I don't know what this blue powder
It's supposed
is.
to be, I think it's supposed to be a synthetic heroin.
It's some new designer drug. I'm gonna go with ecstasy.
He does say,
89.
I mean, it
Noble
straight looks
Willingham,
like meth.
McCready says, designer drugs are as legal as whores and lawyers in this
Designer
state.
drugs is legal as whores and what is not legal in Reno?
Whores and lawyers.
Like whores
Kids
and Lars.
gambling.
That's well, yeah, okay. I guess kids gambling. That's where they draw the fucking line.
yeah.
Our kids can have hers though. That's fine. Just don't fucking gamble.
If
They
you're
have to-
21, it's all in.
The kids have to stay in that kids section with the arcade games and the weird little young girl cigarette girls.
Oh man, previous episode of Wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, give me a pack of them red vines and keep the change, toots. I've got nice legs, don't I? No one's looking.
I got nice cams.
We're not looking. We're not having a seat. We got rid of Chris Hansen. He's not coming back.
He'll be back in August.
Oh, he's having a seat.
And then we go to Meg Foster, who is Frank's ex-wife.
Correct.
Lynn.
Lynn.
We recognized her because we had not too long ago watched Leviathan.
Yes, Leviathan.
I know those eyes.
She's
She's
Evil Lynn
yes.
in Masters of the Universe.
She's in They Live. So
Yes,
we just went and saw that in
watched them.
theaters.
Yeah.
Holly.
Your wife just touched on it, though. Like, how do you not recognize those eyes?
Yep.
There is
Yeah.
something beautiful and haunting.
A
Yes.
brunette with like the palest blue eyes. You're just like, good God.
I'm on it. I'm gonna say she's part of Jack's team.
Yeah.
She's a ginger.
With the eyes
She
of albinos.
she colors her eyes. Her eyes.
She colors her
She
eyes.
colors her hair darker.
I mean, her IMDb bio starts with a brunette with blue eyes.
Yeah, because box hair dye.
Do gingers have blue eyes?
Could.
All right.
I don't know. I can't see mine.
I thought they were red.
You have blue
I
eyes.
thought they were just really pale. They can't go outside.
It's just
Little
all
beady black
pupil.
dots.
Oh no, that's albinos. Same thing.
I think she's got the eyes of an albino.
Yeah, I wonder if she's actually like, can she see?
I mean, I'll tell you what, in this movie, in Blu-ray quality, you can see spray tan.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's also in at least two future episodes. Speaking of future, one called Future Kick
Okay.
with Don the Dragon Wilson,
Woo.
which is wonderful, and one called Best of the Best 2, which we've mentioned before.
Absolutely.
That's an awesome movie. Unfortunately, the only way we're going to be able to watch that is on my DVD.
DVD. Who'd you get that from?
eBay.
Oh,
So
It's
for a
literally
good
that
plug,
was the
fuck
only. That's
eBay.
the last time it was released in the United States on any kind of media, and it's not streaming anywhere.
Yeah.
You can get 1, 3, 4, 5, or 3 and 4, but you can't get 2.
It's strange. It's very similar to Cannonball Run. You can get the first one, but you can't, or you can't get the first one, but you can get everything else. Like, I want Cannonball Run 1.
well, it's like you can get every Kevin Smith movie except for Dogma.
Well, that's
Huh.
got. I mean, this is probably a similar situation because that's a whole rights thing, and Weinstein's sitting in jail rotting and still being like, "I'm not giving you the rights, Kevin."
Yep.
Fuck
Suck
that guy.
it. Like I made everybody else suck it. And now I'm being made to suck it.
Do you think he is?
I hope so.
Oh, Meg Foster's also in Stepfather 2, so she was already with Terry O'Quinn.
All right. Yeah. Familiarity.
Yeah.
Well, good thing they got married and then he left her.
Why would he leave her? I guess maybe because he thinks he's a piece of shit.
So we get later I don't even know her name because she's barely in this movie. The blonde chick with glasses says that Terry O'Quinn's at the tables like all hours. That's why he left her. He's got
Yeah.
a gambling problem.
Yeah.
Well, she probably made him leave.
Well,
Yeah.
and he has, spoiler alert, he has some issues, I think, from feeling like a piece of shit because we find out that he basically bailed on Rutger Hauer
Yeah.
and
Oh,
left him to
yeah.
die.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think he feels guilty about that. And
I
that's
would.
probably part of it. He came back and he's just living his life feeling like a garbage human.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Which is why you go to Reno
Yeah.
or Florida.
Well, he left Florida.
He went to Florida. He's like, where's trashier than this?
Reno is the Florida of Nevada.
I'll go to Reno and think about what's trashier than Florida. He never left.
And then we have Brandon Call, Billy, his son, who's the shittiest of
Introducing.
shit boys in this.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Call.
It says introducing, even though he'd already been in a bunch of TV and he did a voice in the Black Cauldron.
His
But I
agent just...
think this might be his first.
He had a great
movie-
agent, maybe.
Yeah,
Well, I think it
that
might be
agent's
his
like, hey,
first
introduce
movie
him.
acting role as like a live action
A lead.
human.
Like he's a
Because
not
Black
a,
Cauldron's animated.
Yeah.
He was in that, but
he's not like a lead, but he's like a co.
He's a
okay,
feature.
he's a featured character for the first 2 acts of this movie, and thank God he's basically out of the 3rd act.
Supporting actor.
I
There we
do
go.
think that he's a good shithead.
Oh, he was also in Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
He is a
Oh,
super
yeah,
shithead
don't
in the
touch that
beginning.
dial.
Hey, Brandon,
You
get the
piece
fuck
of
out of
shit.
here! I'm doing cocaine with hookers.
I want some.
And he does point out he's about to say, "Oh, this guy's blind," and his mom's like, "Vision impaired, honey."
So when I was watching it, I was like, I couldn't get the subtitles to work, and they're whispering at this point. Like she's just a really soft spoken person.
Uh-huh.
Can't fucking hear shit.
Did we subtitle or not? I can't remember.
I think we did, yeah.
But I was texting him. He's like my husband, and he's at work, and he's like, "We'll do this and do that," and I was just like, "So
Child, come help me.
give me back to the
technology.
main menu," because I'd hit like tool menu or something, and she's like, "It's disc menu, mother." And I'm like,
Come on.
I don't do things anymore. I'm a pampered bitch here now.
It's technology. I'll just handle it.
Exactly.
I told her I was like,
Where's
of
my
course.
best boy?
I told
she's
her
my
I was.
best girl.
I was like, of course, there's an issue, and I'm not there.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna go back and like rewind to kind of listen. I was like, I got these guys.
Yeah. You get the
But
gist
yeah,
of it.
she's so soft spoken.
Ooh, you know what you did miss out on though? Anytime this kid says mom, the subtitles say mum.
Yeah.
I just remembered.
There's a Brit doing
There's a Brit doing this.
Really?
I think he means mum.
It must be, Mom.
Anytime he says bathroom, it shows up
polite
as
to call
water
you mum,
closet.
Mom.
The loo.
The loo.
Lou.
I do like Rutger Hauer's line though when she's trying to be all PC. She's like, "No, he's vision impaired," and he's like, "Yep, blind as a bat too."
Not pussyfooting around.
He's a
He
snappy
is.
blind man. Did you like? He sits right in front of like no one recognized him. By the way, he's
Yeah,
like,
not
"Oh,
at
I'm
all.
Right next to his fucking picture.
right next to the picture of him." Like
We did
surprisingly the same age.
we did miss him. We did skip over him walking up to the house and
Catching a dinosaur.
because little shithead fucking sneezes, I guess, and throws his little to right.
Is that what happened? I thought you got
Yeah.
mad at it.
He sneezed because she makes a comment. We'll take care of your allergies. Go outside. It'll make
right.
your allergies better.
The allergies are a thing.
Okay, I didn't even see that. I was wondering
Yeah.
later where this Triceratops showed up. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
I thought he
he
threw
caught
it.
it.
Okay.
So like he,
Oh, and he thumbs it, and that's how he knows because
yeah,
he says like,
he's like, thank
"This
you. It
is
was
my
nice
child,
to meet you,
yeah,
Billy.
How'd you know his name?
He signed his
the
work.
dinosaur. Something
Yeah.
stupid.
That's why I had to mention it because it
It's
comes
his,
back
It's his force powers.
again.
it comes back.
And my next note just says "fuck that kid," and I don't remember why. Oh, because he's
Because
saying
he
he's
flips him
leaving.
off.
Yeah, he's right in his Rutger Hauer's face, flipping him off. He's like, "Bye,
Nice to
bye,
meet
you
ya."
fucking cunt."
Don't try and fuck my mom.
And then doesn't he grab his hand?
Yeah,
He
he like
grabs that middle
grabs him,
finger.
and he's like, "Hey, don't be a piece of shit," basically.
Yeah.
That
And then he's spooked as shit.
that picture though that's behind him, Jack
Yeah.
noticed it. It looks like he was playing blind in that picture.
It did,
Because
right?
the other dude, Terry Quinn's looking straight at the camera, and he's just Rutger Hauer is just looking off, all big eyed. It's like you're not blind yet in this part, dude.
Yeah, my first thought was, did they like composite this photo? Like, you could just take a picture of these two together.
I'm gonna fast
In
forward
the
a little
scene,
bit.
maybe?
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Rutger Hauer has that picture in his wallet.
How did he
And
get it?
Brandon takes it out. Well, because they made multiple copies.
Yeah, I'm
How
sure.
did
Well-
he get? How did Rutger Hauer get
Okay,
there?
so when they do the flashback, they show that the pictures are almost Polaroid-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
because I was like, yeah, because they took those pictures together. They show when they took it. It's right before he goes blind.
But what's
Yeah.
funny about it though is the kid's like looks at it. He's like, "Oh, you could see back then." It doesn't look like it.
look like it.
Where are you getting this information
It looks
from?
like it looks like me in a group photo, just always looking in the wrong direction.
Not touching anybody, just staring
Oh,
off in the distance.
Like our portraits we took with your brother, where like Todd's looking one way, you're looking another way. Me and Tori are looking at the camera, and
You're
Joe's
just
like-
looking over the shoulder of somebody.
You're just making your like youth ministry fucking record for Jesus.
Yep. But this one,
Faith
I mean,
plus one.
it does look like he can't see, but it also looks like he's laughing at somebody over there. Which in the flashback, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
It's like they actually used the correct picture from that.
It's a damn good picture. I'll
It
say
is.
that. It's classic.
But that's the
of them
second
looking
shirt.
exactly how they look right now. They did not even try to make them look younger.
Is he telling the story to her? No, he tells it to Billy.
He tells
later.
it to Billy.
Okay, so this is when the cops come, or the quote cops. I don't know.
They are cops, but
Two
they
of
got
them are
paid.
cops.
Yeah, and then they're coming in looking for Billy, and they just shove their way into this house. By the way,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
not that's illegal.
And I think it's great because even Rutger Hauer is just like we're all a little confused. Maybe do you have a warrant or and then like hey inspector and here comes Slag like
Yep.
a Randall Tex Cobb with that greased back hair.
Whew.
Dude, we
a
watched some of
shoddy.
his. He was a professional boxer and really good at it. It was fucking awesome to watch that dude work. I mean, he was what they said he
Do
had.
you
the
like
best,
watching boxing?
No, but I will.
Yeah.
I don't
he's-
watch any sport.
He's said to have the best chin in boxing. Like what was it? It was his last fight was the only time he ever got knocked down.
Yeah,
I was like,
he'd
what is
never
the
even
best
knocked
chin?
down,
And
like,
then
first
that's
Oh,
when he
35
best chin,
fights, he
as
hadn't
in
been
like
knocked
strong
down.
chin. I was like, what do
Yeah.
you mean best chin? Like it protrudes and it's easy to hit? I don't
No,
know.
no.
The opposite of a glass chin, a glass
Yeah.
jaw.
All right.
Yeah. No,
Not-
he left boxing because of some scandal with a promoter that was nickname was Elvis. And they did cocaine and threw a fight, and then that's when he left the limelight. He's like, "I'm done."
So he's not Glass Joe.
No,
from the
opposite
first
of
level
Glass
of
Joe. This is
Punch Out.
fucking Anvil
Yep.
Andy.
All right.
So then Billy comes back in the house 30 seconds later because he's like, well, I went outside and played like Mom said.
Yep.
And
My
he
asthma's
gets
gone.
he gets in the way and he gets grabbed by the cops and then fucking Tex Cobb blasts his mom with a shotgun.
Yep.
And I guess he gets knocked out, right? Because he doesn't know that his mom's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
But
He
I
gets
make that
thrown.
noise because of the shotgun wound is just black powder.
Yeah.
There's
no
almost
squib.
no blood to it. There's no squib. It just looks like you shot pepper. at
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
So it's one of the very few
It's
things
the
I didn't like
what is
about
it? The
this movie.
the burn.
Yeah.
Like if it was close range, that's
Muzzle
what you're
burn or
saying.
something?
Yeah, muzzle burn.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, I mean, maybe they
I'm not a
did it for
forensics.
like, the 80s were a weird time for getting ratings for movies that weren't like huge, like
You're saying it could have been
Disney
X
movies or
if they
whatever.
would have had a.
Yeah, they would. Maybe they were like,
NC-17.
"Oh, we're gonna make you X," or I think it's still X at that point. Maybe it was NC-17 by
Yeah.
then, but maybe because I mean, in the British version of this movie, the UK version, they cut 22 seconds of violence to make it a 15 instead of an 18.
Oh wow.
Even though here, I guess technically it would be an 18 because that's R, but I don't know how strict theirs is. If it's like 15 means no one under, 18 means no one under, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Isn't 15 like a big age for them? Like you can
Drink.
smoke, drink, vote, and drive all
Buy
at 15?
hookers.
Buy hooker. Well, you don't buy a hooker, dude. You rent them.
I do have another trope
See
with this
Pretty
gunshot.
You know what's funny though?
Another trope.
Yeah. I hate this. It's a side hit
Yeah.
and she fucking dies.
Oh yeah.
It's buckshot.
Well, we don't know what's in there.
But it's on the side. Like, again, no blood, nothing.
I mean, she might die, but it wouldn't be that quickly.
It definitely wouldn't be that quick. And
Like-
we all know there'd be
Infection
some
and-
blood.
Yeah.
There will be blood.
But you know what's funny?
Will
When
there?
when they released it on VHS over there, they did put the 22 seconds back in, but then they took out the line about gasoline and detergent later in the movie
Because it.
because the British Film Council or whatever didn't want people to imitate it.
Uh-huh.
They're like, don't teach them how to make a good Molotov, just a shitty one.
It's
Well,
America.
and
It's your right
so
to know.
this movie bombed, and it has to do with what I'm talking about. It cost 10 million. It only made 2.86 in the US. Yeah. So when they released it in the UK, they only released it for like 3 weeks, and then they put it straight to VHS. But because
So they
Rutger
didn't do it any
Hauer,
favors.
well, Rutger Hauer is much more known over there because he had been in Blade Runner here, and that's about it. Like, so people didn't really know who he was. So because it was in theaters for such a short time and it got decent reviews from people, it was on the top of the VHS rental lists for like 10 months or something like that.
Is he he's an American actor, right?
No. Rutger Hauer.
Which I never knew either.
He has a
He is in a movie
fantastic
with
accent.
Jennifer Jason Leigh where he dude, it's a fucking great move. He goes to rape her and she just acts
Is
into
that a
it.
great move?
No, her move.
Oh.
She acts into it. And all of his boys are there and she's like, that's all you can give me? Come on. And he's like, well, fuck, dude, this isn't what I thought. I'll look the name up.
Oh, please
but,
do.
Yeah,
because
it's fucking terrific. Rape scenes are always really difficult to
That the
watch.
best you got?
Yeah, but it's like, that's the best you got. And all of his buddies are like, oh.
sounds like never mind. I'm
But yeah,
not gonna
wife,
say it.
he's Dutch.
Oh, I do love a little Dutch boy.
But yeah, he does have a good American
He loves
accent.
gold.
Not a Dutch rudder though, right?
No, not a Dutch rudder. And then we get the reveal of his sword because he's been walking around with this cane, and he kind of pulls it out, and you see it. But then when he goes back over to the cops, it's back in.
closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he chops this dude's hand off, and it's awesome.
Yes.
That's a good one.
At
It is a
just
clean
above
cut.
the wrist.
And
dude.
the motion he does, he closes the gap with a nice big step and then does he puts the blade on his wrist and goes around. It's good motion from Rutger Hauer. It looks
Yes.
cool.
So
He had a little
There's a
man
few
training him
times.
the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, that's why he was ducked down when he was cutting everybody. He's like, I don't know how to attack you from this height. Hold on, let me just bend here, crouch down. Now I'm eye to belly button with you.
he did a month's worth of training with a blind guy who was also a master of judo.
Okay.
So he taught him how to walk like a blind person.
Master of disguise.
And then also taught him sword play. And he also learned some from Sho Kasugi, who's in the movie later for literally 2 minutes.
Yeah,
but is at the beginning as featuring.
So that made me wonder: is he a big name overseas? Maybe
He is. I mean, he's been in a lot
sure.
of ninja movies, but in the U.S. it would be he was in Enter the Ninja 3 Domination.
was
stuff
he
like
in
that.
Medicine Man by chance?
I don't think so.
Because he kind of
with
looked
Sean
like
Connery.
yeah.
I don't think so. But he
Because
learned.
he kind of looks like one of the indigenous guys from there.
I don't think so, but I'm not sure. But yeah, according to Rutger Hauer's website, at least, he learned all this the sword play and the blind play from a guy named Lynn Manning, who was not credited. So fuck you, blind
Fuck
guy.
you.
Well, he's not going to see his name up there.
And then the guy, the coordinator who did the sword fights. This will be fun for the two of me and you, Jack, because we're the only ones who had to watch it. He did the stunts for Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins.
Oh yeah,
And he won. I didn't know this when we did that episode. He won an Academy Award for stunts in that movie.
That movie won or got nominated for awards, and I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Flesh and Blood is the name of that movie, by the way, with Rutger Hauer.
Oh, the rapey one.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Okay.
yeah, Flesh and Blood.
Flesh and Blood, rape movie.
Should have seen that coming.
So yeah, so he pulls it. He cuts off the dude's hand. He ends up killing the other cop with a nice behind the back stab.
Well, because he this African American cop is fucking awesome. He gets sliced across the chest, but his face looks like he doesn't know where he was sliced. He just knows that he's supposed to. Yeah, he's like, and just making the weirdest fucking faces. And then he could have been in Miami Connection.
I was gonna say they couldn't borrow that chest slice wound from Miami.
Dude, this guy should have been in Miami Connection.
Fuck, what's his name?
Tony.
No, the guy who made Miami Connection.
Oh,
it doesn't matter.
TK.
Or YK. YK Kim.
YK Kim.
TK is from Borderlands.
Same thing.
YK Kim. They could have just called him and been like, "Can we? We'll pay you $100,000 for that."
Yeah. He would.
That's my next movie.
For $100,000, like I can make 2 sequels. My Miami Connection trilogy is finally happening.
Oh man, I'm in.
I'm in too, dude. I will help crowdfund that shit.
And then he slices the cigar out of Tex Cobb's mouth. And he's like, "Yeah, well, your sword can't stop bullets," and hops through this fucking window like Jason in that Friday the 13th movie we
exact
did.
thought that I had, dude, was when Kane Otter jumps in. This guy just jumps out.
And
Tag team.
It's clearly a stuntman because this guy is not. This guy is smaller than Tex Cobb. He's not built the way that he is. But
There's some questionable stunt work, stunt people work. The
Yeah,
stunts are great.
when Rutger Hauer goes down in the mud, it's a black-haired guy. Like when the kid and him fall in the mud, it's a black-haired guy. It's like,
Yeah, I think we're getting there right now.
I
Actually.
have a favorite one coming up.
But yeah, BLEEP definitely spot that. He's like, that's a stunt man. I was like, I was looking away here. And he's like, that's black hair.
I didn't even catch that.
I didn't catch that either. Let's go watch it.
All right, we'll be right back. As you folks know, we like to have a beer or 3 while we podcast, and sometimes that leads to a not so pleasant morning after, unless we remember to hydrate, people. That's where Liquid IV comes in. Liquid IV is the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, and it's now available in sugar-free with a proprietary zero sugar solution that has no artificial sweeteners. I love using Liquid IV because it comes in convenient little packets you can take with you, makes me feel rejuvenated and hydrated, and best of all, it actually tastes good. Just 1 packet of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than just water alone, thanks to the 8 vitamins and nutrients it has, and it has 3 times the electrolytes of those other sports drinks. We love Liquid IV so much that we're offering you, our loyal listeners, a steal of a deal. Get 20% off when you grab your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier, sugar-free, or any other variant at liquidiv.com and use the code WORSTPEOPLE at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code WORSTPEOPLE at liquidiv.com.
Oh my God, that's
Happy New
amazing.
Year's. We're back. Happy New Year, everyone.
I am hung over.
It is now January 2nd. We watched it 4 times.
We all got blind fury tattoos by a blind tattoo artist. So.
Ooh.
And I'm furious.
Can you get me a sword? That looks kind of like a dick.
I'll take it. Isn't there a guy that like beats somebody with dildos?
Yeah, Harry the
There we go.
Hatchet
Yeah.
and Lockstock.
There we go.
That's not the first. That's like the 3rd time we've referenced that.
That's because I love that movie and I'll fucking defend it. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can defend his first 2 to the end of time.
yeah, I'll even defend The Gentleman.
There's
But-
a few others, Gentleman,
Gentleman's good.
Revolver, Rock and Roll, all of his crime ones basically.
Yeah.
Once he does other shit, no one cares.
What's the second? Snatch and
Snatch and Lockstock are definitely like those are his best movies. And then the next one he made was Swept Away with Madonna. So
He got a little off his own rails there.
well, it's his wife, you know. Whatever.
That's what I'm talking about.
God, the way that woman looks now.
He got a little on the rails there.
He got a little on her rails.
But yeah, so this little shitbird, he takes him to a bus to take him to his dad, and this kid's making a scene.
He is the biggest shitbird right here.
Dude,
Yeah.
this kid is a fucking asshole.
But he's, to be fair, like he wants to talk to his mom and still doesn't know that his mom is dead. He just keeps being, you can't talk to her right now. So maybe he does think he's being kidnapped. I mean, that is a
Look,
possibility.
your mom's at home, told me to take you to your dad, get on this bus.
And to get to the scene that BLEEP was just referencing, like now he's like, well, we have to get back in the bus, but it's still raining. Little water never hurt anybody. And Rutger Hauer spills, on his back trying to cross a puddle.
Yes.
And this kid lets out the most shitbird uproarious laugh ever.
Yeah.
I love it. Little rain never hurt anybody. And then runs and just eats shit face first into
I
the
can
mud.
see where I'm going.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see what didn't help you.
I just love because Rutger Hauer doesn't give him like the kid gloves.
Yes.
He falls and he's just like, "Pah, you fucking idiot."
This is akin to Dutch. Like,
yeah,
I'm
maybe
not
maybe the paramedics will come and help you.
I know.
What's funny is as soon as I saw the scene, the instant thought in my head was, "What a shitbird!" Because I've listened to your guys' episode so much, I was like, "This is a shitbird." Now I know. This is a shitbird. This is it. It's right here. It's obvious.
And at one point too, speaking of shitbird, the kid's like, "I get the window seat. You don't need it. You're blind." And he's like, "Yeah, you got me there, you little prick."
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. It's just the way he says it.
Yeah.
You know? You could straight up just be like, "Well, can I have the window?" And end of conversation.
And there is when they get to that bus stop where the mud fall happens. The subtitle thing popped up, and there's these two guys talking, and the subtitles say "baseball hat man" and "t-shirt man," and it just made me laugh. It could just be like "man 1, man 2."
Something else. Maybe
They
you caught
wanted
it,
you to know who it was, though.
When they pulled up to this bus stop and it was raining, there was something very weird with the film. I don't know if it was fake rain, fake backdrop, or something.
Badly exposed, a little dark looking.
There was something that looked off from every other scene at this place.
It's like a horror movie all of a sudden, all dark and
Yeah.
rainy. And then
I mean, he
normal
is
rain
traveling
after.
across the country with a child. That's like a
It
horror
was
movie.
weird. We caught it and just like I'm not film nerd enough to know what it was, but I knew that something was off. It reminded me of the old painted backdrops, like a very practical way to make rain.
Yeah.
And even Bleep said it might be that they have the
Rain Tower.
the
or
rain
something
tower
like
in
that.
one spot.
Yeah, it
Oh.
could also be something where they shot day for night, so they make it so
Could
it
have
looks
been that.
dark. I don't notice those things a lot anymore.
Oh,
because,
yeah, because children couldn't work at night, right?
Yeah, there's the rules about children working past certain hours, and I ask who was it that did Twilight Zone movies?
Yeah.
Um,
We've talked about it before, where the dude and the two
God, he's a big
kids
director too. I just
get
can't think of his name.
murdered
right now.
by
the
the
helicopter. Yeah.
Oh, when they are getting out in the rain, though, the kid says something about catching pneumonia,
Yeah.
and
I'm
he's
gonna
like,
catch pneumonia.
he's like, "Yeah, I'll try to live with the guilt."
Yeah. Yeah, I love how he's not coddling this little shithead shitbird. He's just, hey,
Is it wrong? That's how I talk to my kid.
no. You gotta stop that jaw early.
And we do meet the person you were talking about. Annie Winchester is the character's name. Annie. I don't think they ever say her last name, but the credits said it. Played by a woman named Lisa Blount, who I recognized her, but she's in Prince of Darkness, and that's really all I recognize her from. John
Okay,
Carpenter.
that's about all I would know her from then.
She's the glasses, Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like one of the cigarette girls, I guess, because I'm assuming by the way she's dressed.
She's a cocktail waitress.
But she brings him
She's
Frank.
the casino therapist, just dressed
Well,
like a cigarette girl.
And
She's
she's
his
banging
girlfriend.
Frank, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So she brings
brought
him a
your
box of
girlfriend here.
cigars. Yeah. And that guy, by the way,
Playing Cobb.
Charles Cooper playing Ed Cobb. Cobb, they just call
Yeah.
him. I recognized him with even despite not having the makeup. He was in Star Trek V, Final Frontier, and he's also in The Next Generation as a completely different character.
Oh no.
But Jack, you'll like this. He's in one episode of Cop Rock.
I did. I was like, dude, how is this show? It was not in my life, and now everybody I look up is in Cop Rock. Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful. It's ridiculous.
You finally sang.
I'll send you a trailer.
It's been a minute.
Oh, I sang on last one, I think.
I think Ben sang.
Yeah.
That might
Yeah,
have been
and
the
you-
last one. I don't know
You
when that
snipped
was.
at him for singing.
Yes,
You're
my-
like, I will do the singing,
That's my
sir.
thing. Get
I
outta
did it,
here.
and you didn't snip at me.
And they're getting back on the bus. It's not this one. No, it is this
Yeah,
one.
it's this
Billy
one.
picks up that rock and
Oh,
gives
yeah.
it to Rutger
Ooh,
Hauer. and
I
he's
got
like,
a piece of candy.
Yeah.
I knew there was a good kid in there somewhere.
And then so he eats this rock, and he can tell it's a rock. I thought he was just gonna swallow it, and very like hot sauce.
It's breaking his teeth. You can hear it.
Yeah, you
just-
hear it crunch, and it looks like he swallows it. He does
it
that
looks
thing.
like, but then he just
Yep.
spits it at this kid's
Bullseye
forehead.
is his
Instant,
face.
yeah, instant bruise on his
Awesome.
head.
Oh, did you guys catch the bruise was on the wrong side the next
Was it?
scene?
No,
No.
Well, they're also not muddy at all once they're on the bus. So
That's what I was thinking when this kid was going to get on the bus. Like, Rutger Hauer's got some mud on him, but he's not nearly as bad. This kid is coated.
This bus driver's not gonna let you
yeah,
on.
I was like,
He's
the
like,
bus driver's...
stand in the rain for a minute and rinse
Exactly.
off.
The bus
Yeah.
driver's like, you know what? We'll delay the bus for 5 minutes. Stand in the rain.
It's bad enough you're all like wet dogs. I mean, muddy wet dogs. Ugh.
This isn't even Greyhound, and I've been on a Greyhound, and they're not clean.
No.
This is transcontinental bus lines or something. This guy's like, whatever,
Fancy.
man.
I can't even imagine the smell of this bus.
No, thank you.
Go in the bathroom back there and just give yourself a hobo bath.
Oh, and maybe it's Hat Man and T-shirt Boy, whatever you said. But we can
that is the worst comic book I've
Hat
ever
Man
heard.
and T-shirt Boy.
Woo!
They just go around clothing people.
Oh no, there's sun in that man's eyes. Get the hat.
but yeah, they roll by in like a truck just ready to go. It looks like they're ready to go hunting people.
Is it them? I think this is just another group of redneck hunters. Well, that's at the next bus stop because first he tells them the story, the flashback.
Oh, I'm getting my bus stop.
It's just a quick thing, the flashback of like
Before the cornfield.
They were literally going home the next day. I'm about to retire tomorrow, that thing. And the Vietnamese attacked them at their camp, and Rutger Hauer apparently drew the short straw. There are like 12
they were
guys
chosen to do it because they'd done it before.
I don't even know if they were chosen. They just
he
it seemed like a
mentions-
2-part thing
Yeah.
where
He mentions that they were chosen, but I'm like, there are 12 to 14 dudes in here. Can't you all go out with guns?
But
I
there's
love-
been things that they've done before to where these two sneak off to get the people who were
yeah,
doing the
Frank
murder.
covers him, and then
Yeah.
he goes in.
we were loving the firework pranks.
Yeah.
Because I thought that Rutger Hauer was going to lose his eyesight because of Terry O'Quinn throwing bombs.
Yeah.
Same.
Because they're in the bunker, like he was always messing around and stuff. Cut to
Just
him with like a
lighting quarter sticks of dynamite.
M80s tied together
his face.
and throwing them down like just some fucking Vietnam pranks.
And they're all just laughing. I'm like, these are explosives meant to kill.
Yeah. So I thought for sure that was going to be how he lost his sight. Turns out it's a very lazy way to show why he's making drugs.
Well, and
Yeah.
also your first thing of saying firework pranks, I thought you were just talking about the explosions because it's that, there's the real explosions that have fire, and then there's the movie explosions that are just sparklers.
A little more phosphorus kind of thing.
And that's all these are. I'm like, what are these Vietnamese just equipped with? They're like, the firework factory shut down, but we can keep making
we can make
stuff.
bombs
All
out
right,
of
guys,
these.
line up
Make
the
your
bottle
mortar-
rockets.
We got Saturn missiles.
Making mortars with Husker Dews and
With
missiles
or
with
without
Husker.
the scooter stick.
So then Billy, or Rutger Hauer tells Billy his mom's dead, and he runs off into the cornfields. And I just watched Children of the Corn, and I'm like, never run into a cornfield.
You don't. Oh no, not
Oh.
this one. Especially, this is like one of the world's top scariest scarecrows.
Are you talking about the little midget in a mullet running into the cornfield?
Yeah, your wife texted me that, and I didn't tell you that she had texted me this because I wanted to save it for this. It was a little person running through the cornfield in a wig instead of the kid.
A
Brandon
terrible
called.
wig. Like I was just like that. Why?
I will say, though, I guess
he was past his work. Like he's got to go home for the day. But we need this one shot.
Well,
Yeah.
also,
we need it from behind.
we're all from Arizona. So, you may have run in a cornfield before.
Oh, it's terrible.
Painful.
It's super
you
painful.
guys have seen Scary Movie
It's
3,
literal
right?
razor blade.
Oh, sadly, yeah.
Where he's running through and his mouth is full of corn and stuff. That's kind of how it works.
Okay.
So you're just
No,
getting
your mouth
batted.
doesn't get filled with
No,
corn.
it doesn't. That's the comedy version.
Oh,
But you're
I'm
just
just
getting batted in the face and cut by leaves.
Yeah,
and-
those leaves are like razors.
Yeah, I've seen Twister.
I did really appreciate
grew up-
though.
The nipple of America.
In the nipple of America. I spent my summers in the nipple of America
Yeah, she went to the fucking most humid part of the country for summer.
to see my grandparents.
Must
I
love
love-
them.
Go in the fall.
But then I'd learned to swim in the Mississippi.
Gross.
I
Weird
know.
flex.
No wonder you had an extra thumb.
All checks out.
I do love though. It's a really good shot though, even though it's a terrible stunt person. But there's jib shot that goes up. Out, and it keeps going up. It's this huge crane, and this kid's running, and you can see him. I just thought I was watching it, and I was like, that's a very impressive cinematography.
This
on
is where
part.
you
There was some good
commented.
cinematography.
I
yeah.
think this is one of the ones you
This
had
is
commented.
yeah. Like once I get to the shack and all that, it looks good.
Ooh,
I mean, the
the
cinematographer
shack.
here is a guy named Don Burgess, and he did some really good looking movies. He did some terrible ones, but he did Forrest Gump. He did Castaway. He did the Raimi Spider-Man, the first one.
Forrest Gump also has Vietnamese fake explosions, fun explode,
and
just
cornfields.
firework pranks, and cornfields.
And I haven't seen it, but he did the first Aquaman, which is supposed to look really good.
You don't need to see it. It doesn't look that good. It's fine. That's the best.
I mean, it
can
looks
say
as good as
about
it can look when you're shooting a movie entirely in a green warehouse.
Yes. I don't know. They got the underwater effects to look better, but they still just don't. They don't jive with me.
I still haven't seen it.
He also
haven't
shot
either.
Richie Rich. So
Oh, hey.
now we're talking about
Hey.
a movie you need to see.
Oh, is that with Mr. Macaulay Culkin?
It is.
yes,
Oh,
It is.
Mr.
And
Macintosh.
did you know?
the lady who plays the Mama Brady is the mom.
Oh, is she? I haven't seen it since I was a child.
And then the dude that is the shitty husband in Overboard plays the dad. I'm blanking on actual
Kurt
names.
Russell?
No.
The shitty husband, not the rapey boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The rich one.
Yep.
Andrew? I don't know.
I just noticed I saw something the other day. Macaulay Culkin actually just walked the catwalk for Gucci. Like he got his life back on track. He's not doing drugs.
Yeah, that says
He
you got
looks
your life back on track.
Yeah, well,
He looks fucking
he
amazing
looks
now.
just like all those other models, like he's still doing drugs.
Like he looks fantastic.
I already got
though.
the Coke body. I might
Did you
as well
know
model.
that Dave Navarro did like a catwalk thing for someone?
Oh, I don't doubt that.
No,
I'm sure
that was
he would do
in
it for
private. He
anybody.
just walks like a cat in high heels for you if you pay him.
It was before he went and founded his planet in Star Wars.
Was it for Carmen Electra?
No, it was. I don't know who. I don't remember who it was for, but he did. I
Surprisingly,
saw the
Dennis
pictures.
Rodman.
I saw the pictures of it, and he's wearing like the dress and everything, but he looks just as skinny as most of the models, except for with a little bit more muscle
If not more skinny.
and more tattoos.
That's heroin chic.
Yeah.
and more makeup.
That's heroin chic.
Bigger breasts.
That's
Bigger
not,
breasts.
That's not heroin chic.
But yeah, so the redneck hunters are out here just like stalking Billy in the corn.
There's a couple good names. The big fat guy that's always eating popcorn.
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 And his little sidekick? Snow.
You know?
I this had the most feel of like a Japanese like samurai movie though to me, like because Rutger Hauer is going through the corn, he's hunched down, he's got his sword out like blocking the corn from hitting him. It's like the scenes you see all the time where they're in those forests with the really tall, skinny trees.
And the way it's shot, like you're saying, with the stick in front, him running, you could replace the corn with bamboo, and we're right fucking there.
Yeah, this is that Naruto run everybody wanted to do a couple years ago at Area 51.
Yeah, that went well.
I wish they would have done it. I
Me too.
was waiting for them to just get bombed out by an A-10 or whatever.
I don't
Is
think
that the one that has the black and white vision, the A-10?
The A-10, that's the tank plane. That's the
Yeah,
can
that's the one
opener.
I only know it from Call of Duty when you do the missions where you see everybody in black and white and you can
Yeah,
yeah.
the warthog.
But yeah, they're stalking him through the cornfield. Dude, I love he hops out between the popcorn guy and his buddy, and he's just like, shoot, and jumps back
taps
in.
his stick and jumps back in. And popcorn shoots snow. And I said that.
That is a sentence you said in this house.
That's
And
been
then
said now.
he slices or he kills popcorn guy.
Yes.
And then he ends up slicing, like Tex takes Billy to some random shack that's held up by a 2x4.
Thank
It's a
God this
love
shack was
shack.
here, I guess. Like, dude, this is not a love shack.
I hope it's not a love shack.
This is
Have
a
a
rape
seat.
shack. This is fucking, this is
You say
seedy.
rape, I say love.
So do they. Yeah, what the hell is this shack doing in this cornfield?
It's probably like almost an outhouse or just maybe
With a mattress in it?
Did it
Yeah.
have a mattress? I was like, it's just like a storage shed.
so
It
it's
looked like he got thrown onto a mattress.
when you have hundreds and hundreds of acres of land and you had to like hand plow shit, you needed a little shade. You need to relax a little bit.
That's the
and then
shed
you
where
get
they
back
grow
on.
their
You guys
weed.
trying to church up slave quarters? I know what those look like.
I just know what
don't church it up. It's just
having
like-
500 acres of land and having to hand plow that shit. That's how my grandfather lost his thumb. And then I was born with it.
Is that how you got yours? That was the day my grandpa
Genetics
lost
was
his
just
thumb.
like, well, we got to give her an extra one, damn it.
This family's gonna have an
Did you
even
say-
number
did you
of
say
thumbs.
Jesus said, look at
Yes. Jesus equals genetics.
We also made that joke because that happened in the 50s. My grandfather was actually the first hand reconstructive surgery in Iowa, and he didn't have a thumb. And I know you listeners can see this. So the pointer finger, it was cut off at that fold in your hand.
Okay.
And so no thumb. This finger was shoved, like put that gap between your thumb
the
and your
hand chode.
Yeah, the hand showed. So that's where his pointer finger was. The middle and ring were put in a position that you could put a cigarette in it.
They
kinda
give
like
your
a Ninja
grandpa
Turtle.
It looks like a
claw,
really
dude?
creepy claw,
No, a
guys.
hand.
Like,
Yeah.
really-
Because his fingers were one piece. His thumb was severed because
Like
he
a
reached
terrifying
in like that,
human
and the
Ninja
blades
Turtle.
went through like that.
Yeah, this is Jim Carrey giving the claw.
And then I was born in '81.
You're afraid of the
Oh,
claw.
that claw.
Oh, yes, I
Yeah.
am.
So, but he could hold his bourbon and ditch. He can hold his glass, his rocks
Bourbon
glass.
and ditch?
Bourbon and ditch. Black velvet and water.
Oh,
Ah.
God.
So he could hold the
little bit of
glass,
water.
or he could stick his cigarette in there and just. And he can move his pointer finger and his thumb at the same.
I just would have switched to
This
the
is some
drinking
real
weather.
creepy
My
imagery.
grandpa
I mean,
was
it's
amazing,
lovely.
and I
It's
loved
lovely,
it.
but
You would have loved his gun room.
I would have. I would have lost a thumb there.
I used to sleep
he
in
went
that
like,
room.
"Hey, Jack, you gotta check this one out."
Oh man, it's the fucking what is it? Chubbs from
Chubbs
Happy
McGee.
Gilmore. You gotta learn how to putt. You gotta learn how to shoot, Jackie.
Don't worry, it's made out of wood, real strong.
No, George was amazing.
Rutger Hauer slices Tex, and you're like, oh, good, he's dead, but he's not, obviously, right?
This motherfucker was so fucking dripping with sarcasm. What were you saying?
Well, so the shack collapses, and he goes straight to check on him after he hits Cobb, and I'm like, oh yeah, Cobb's totally dead, sure. And they
don't check on him.
Yeah,
No.
don't check it. You don't need to throw a knife in his belly or
No.
anything.
You couldn't tell by the sound when you sliced him that you were hitting a pillow.
Uh-huh.
Because he's got this stab vest that's
He's got a
full of
catcher's
literally,
vest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally like pillow material.
That's what it looks like.
Good thing I wore my knife-proof vest today. I was gonna wear my bulletproof vest, but I
Well,
thought knife-proof.
Well, I think he knew. He's met Rutger Hauer already.
Yeah,
You know
he
what?
has.
Sarcasm rescinded.
And then he does get that gash along the side of his head that never heals. It's continuously bleeding
It's
the rest of the
always
movie.
wet. I commented on that. I was like, it's one of the only things, special effects wise, I didn't like.
Well,
One
when
of
you
the
drink that
few-
much, your blood's really thin and it doesn't clot that well.
I retract my sarcasm. Randall Tex Cobb for president.
So we go back to Reno, and McCready mentions now that the casino's going to close in 2 days if they can't pay back this loan, and that's why they're selling whatever they're selling, drugs.
I don't understand. I was like, why are you cutting it so close? Like,
Yeah.
2 days to make a drug deal? And I'm glad they did say it's one big deal. Because I was thinking, you're going to flood your casino with this and hope to make enough money off of like multiple dealers? No, one bemolded gentleman's going to buy it all.
He's gonna go sell it over at Harrah's and get them shut down too.
Harrah's was named after him and his Harrah.
I do like his line because it's a piece of shit line and it works for him. Where he's like, "We got to get rid of this swordsman. Get me Bruce Lee." And then Cobb is like, "Bruce Lee's dead."
But
He's
he
like,
said
"All
it's
right,
so
get me Bruce Lee's
concerned."
brother then.
He said it's Bruce Lee's dead.
Well, it was fresh in
find his
everybody's
brother.
heart.
He died 30 years ago on a night just like this.
Bruce Lee didn't die in 1959.
No, he didn't. I'm making this guy an old lady.
Oh, okay.
He died 30 years ago.
Oh, and then so I think they missed their bus, so they have to basically walk the rest of the way, right?
Or
So
something.
they're camping out. And it looks like they're in the middle of nowhere, but when they wake up, they're right next to these old people with an RV. And I love, like, there's this terrifying looking
hornet.
bug flying around. Is it a hornet?
It's a murder hornet.
It was
Yeah.
black and
I
giant.
missed
I don't
that.
know.
And it was
And-
CG.
It was this painted on thing. But then while Billy is sleeping, and he slices this thing in half, and this old lady like, "Oh, we need to get us one of those, honey."
We sure
Yeah, we need to
do.
get one of those, Dad. Okay, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
God,
creepy.
I hate that.
These
also,
are Mike
I
Pence's
did not
parents.
see that scene at all.
Really?
No.
You guys watch the same Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Huh.
But
You
I
took
just
a little
love-
open-eye siesta, didn't you?
No.
Your brain just wanders off.
She was too busy playing games on her phone.
No, I made
Yeah.
I had my phone actually turned off. Oh, you know what? I got one of those, like, I downloaded an app to transfer files from my phone to my internal hard storage to my external storage, whatever.
Such
and I
a
might have
nerd.
like looked and seen where I was at that point.
It was
It's really
quick.
short,
It
yeah.
was quick.
Okay.
But yeah, I just love it. It's like, get me one of those. Like, what, a blind
A
man?
blind
Yeah,
swordsman?
With a,
I mean, can you see that pole?
They go over to him. They're like, "We'll
With a
pay you
hardwood.
$100 a day to travel with us and chop up bugs."
All right, Harry here from the Ring Company. We're no longer selling doorbells and doorbell cameras. We are now selling blind swordsmen to stand in front of your yard and swipe at people. Are you interested? You just got to feed them. Love them. Care
Is
for
it,
them.
is it still only $3 a month? I'm in.
$3 a month plus
I'm in.
expenses.
Plus, he lives with you now.
He's going to get really close to your face when he talks to you. He's going to put his face on your face.
He's going to touch your face.
If it's Rutger Hauer, I'm okay with it. Well,
Yeah.
maybe not now. He's dead. That'd be terrifying.
But Rutger Hauer, 89.
Yeah.
Yeah. This 45, 25-year-old.
Yeah, I don't need like a creep show thing happening with like a zombie right in my face. Like,
Don't
where's my
wishmaster that.
cake?
Don't wishmaster yourself. I tell you, Derek wishmastered me. Like where you wish for something, they fuck it up. I was like, man, I want to do a shot. And he's like, we could do all the shots you want. I was like, oh yeah. He's like, all the shots of my lord. Which is that fucking just awful
Chicago.
I was like, damn it, you fucking monkey pawed me. You wishmastered me.
Oh, you want to do a shot?
I hope I never have to pay for beer again. Done. You just never drink it ever again. Damn it.
Is that worse, or is it just, or is fine? You get a lifetime supply of the Beast.
I mean, I think eventually you're gonna drink enough you don't give a shit what it tastes like.
Yeah, but you have to start at some point.
I'm just not gonna drink then.
You can, but can I have hard alcohol before I start drinking beer? I'm just gonna get wasted on some
beer.
whiskey and then maintain on beer the rest of the night.
Yeah, I'll buy the whiskey.
Yeah, I can buy that, right, Wishmaster?
So they get to Reno and they go to the apartment here, and Annie is there, and she's like, "Oh, welcome to our abode," and invites them in. And they're immediately grabbed by Tex Cobb. And
No, this isn't Tex Cobb.
it's not. It's the other guys.
Nick
It's
Cassavetes.
Yeah, it's Lyle and Lyle
How
and
do I know?
Tector.
How do I know the one guy with
Nick
the cowboy hat?
Cassavetes,
Yeah,
the tall guy.
yeah.
He is the main bad guy in Wraith.
Oh.
But you will also know him as the bald dude in Face Off that gives him all the drugs.
Okay.
You want to take his face off?
Oh.
No more drugs for that man.
And no one else here will know him as John Cassavetes' son, who's a awesome director.
How do I know Nick Cassavetes? He's John Cassavetes' son. Fair enough.
Okay. Moving on.
He did the movie Husbands. Come on, guys.
Nick
I know
Cassavetes
the name, so he must have done a couple.
He
movies.
was a huge director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the movies we're
70s and
watching.
earlier.
They
Yeah,
won't be
70s
on-
and
It won't be on this podcast.
But yeah, that's Nick Cassavetes
Maybe.
playing Lyle, and then Rick Overton playing Tector, who was Frangine and Willow.
Oh my God, he's the little brownie.
Yeah,
Opposite Kevin Pollak.
yeah.
Really, he's the other
Really?
of the two.
He was also in Rocketeer.
Was he?
Yeah, it's a small part,
Okay.
but he was there.
Oh, I bet you he's the one at the diner eating the fucking chili.
Okay.
We're all mixed up.
Rocketeer's been chasing us recently, too.
Had a name. I haven't seen Rocketeer since I was like 10.
Yeah.
But I saw it on IMDb, and his character had a name, but that doesn't mean anything.
If his daughter's awake, we have to find something that's not rated R.
Yeah.
So we had popped on Rocketeer one day, and she was just not interested.
I
We're like,
vaguely remember that.
I've been wanting to watch it a lot, like recently, in the last year, because I
I'll
remember
give you a pro
loving
and a
that
con.
movie.
Con is a lot of that shit doesn't look as good now. Pro, it's got Alan Arkin.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good pro.
Yeah.
Do you remember an Xbox game, or it was probably on PlayStation 2, called like Dark Sky or something like that? And you had like
Skyrim.
an alien jetpack that you got and like a helmet. And it was basically like Rocketeer the video game, except for you flew around fighting aliens.
Oh,
It was
no.
fucking awesome.
Sounds great.
Yeah. It probably sucks now.
We get an emulator for it.
So he wakes up after getting knocked out, Rutger Hauer, and I don't know why he said this, but it was kind of funny because he's like woozy and he's like, too much linguine.
Oh, okay. So
You know what that sounds like? Is his wife waking up? She'll pass out on the couch, sometimes wake up and say the most preposterous shit.
But sometimes it's still a mouthful of that food, so too much linguine.
So what's happening? He's trying to do exactly what he tells the kid to do. He's trying to tell Billy, like, explain it to Billy, like, lay on your back, he's trying to get hit because their hands are bound behind their back.
What does that have to do
So
with
he's-
linguine?
He's trying to, because he's too fat now that he can't fucking fold over and get his legs up and move his arms
Okay.
over.
I thought maybe it was because he's like, carb overload.
Yeah,
I
no.
like it Derek's way where he just like wakes up like, oh, too much linguine.
No, he's not just waking up. He's trying to roll around to maneuver
Gotcha.
himself, like get on his shoulders, push his hands over his ass,
And here's a moment of have a seat though.
act
'cause
like a
he's
frog,
like-
and then he sits in his lap.
I think he got nut shot.
Oh, I
Yeah,
guess
Out of
that's
nowhere,
what it
Rutger
is.
Hauer's
Oh.
like, he's like,
Yeah.
oh, like he's like, I'm gonna keep rolling. That
Keep
kid
in character.
just sat really hard on my left testicle, but I'm not mad. I have a right one.
Him waking up like that just reminded me. I didn't think about the not being flexible thing. It reminded me of when I was a kid and I was spending the night at a friend's house, and he woke up. I was already up. I'm playing fucking NBA Jam or whatever. He wakes up and he just goes, "Gary Payton." I was like, "What?"
Bleep here one day when we were at your house heavily drinking, playing some Guitar Hero,
Yeah.
and our friend Isaac was over. And Bleep wakes up from a dead pass out whiskey nap. Like, you know, those 15-minute
Yeah.
ones. Wakes up, just looks up, he goes, don't act like you're in God's good graces.
All right, to be fair, he was nailing it. He's just nailing every fucking line. He's fucking
Let me defend
master
my
champion.
God's good graces remark.
I mean, just don't.
Derek is very familiar with the 15-minute
A little winker.
little winkers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
they may
oh.
last like 35, 45 minutes.
Derek's out of the party. Oh, he's back.
Bleep used to call it the
You've been
hot
to
five.
his birthday parties.
Like, you know, camping, you just drink all day. He'd go in his tent and be like, I'm just going to take a hot five. And come out between 5-10 minutes later with the drinking
I
power
thought
of
you were gonna
like
say it was a hot 5 hours.
10 Morgan Freemans.
He goes in at 5, comes out at 10. Everybody's still
He's
up. and
really
he's like,
just
I'm back.
throwing
That
up
hot
for
five
5
was
minutes.
lava.
expelling everything from his system.
It's not a good birthday party or camping trip if you don't take a nap in the middle of the day when everyone's hanging out, and partying and drinking.
I just need to close my eyes and not put liquid in my mouth for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If I'm awake, I will
water.
keep drinking.
Billy takes his lighter out and burns the ropes off.
Another weird one, though, because he's like,
Yeah.
not my pants.
Yeah, get my lighter. And he starts reaching into his pants pocket. He's like, no, my jacket pocket.
Say
man.
that. Say that first. You start with that. Hey, little kid, I have a lighter in my jacket pocket.
Yeah.
Don't touch my pants.
Don't touch my penis. I mean pants.
I said what I said.
And then Nick Cassavetes is like fucking with the sword, and he runs his finger along it and gets mad that he cuts
It
himself.
looks like he ran it on the backside of it, though.
I'm sure
Either
he
way,
did.
He did
but-
run it on the backside.
He
of
ran it up and he goes, this sword must be cursed.
Yeah.
No, that's how blades work.
That's why they're swords.
Yeah.
This
Chucks
gun
it
went
out
off
the
when I
window.
pulled the trigger. Something's wrong with this.
It must be cursed.
Chucks it out the window. Rutger Hauer starts his countdown.
He's like,
Yeah.
start counting.
Pretty good. I mean, the count does not line up the right way, but it's pretty good. He tells the kid, like, count, But when they get in the car, so they break out of this van that they've been kidnapped in by lighting some shit on fire. And so they stop to get him out. And Rutger Hauer's got like a COVID mask on his face, so he's not inhaling all the smoke.
Uh-huh.
And they
Or
get
passing
out,
germs.
and he just knocks these dudes down, and they just take this van, and she starts driving, and this is why I say it doesn't line up. She drives for like 15 seconds before she turns around, and then Billy starts counting like 10 seconds after they get back where they were, but they still find the sword.
And
It's fine.
Rutger, like, if you're this
But he's
blind
like
guy,
31 and there.
and and he's like, when he gets to 1, he's all, stop here, and she's like slamming the brakes,
Well,
like,
and
fill
again-
her in though.
but
But again, when
again-
he gets to 1, I want you to stop nice and slow.
But again, she's also like, wait, why would I stop? There's a whole conversation. They're like 20 seconds past it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing stops like a Ford. This thing breaks for 12 and a half feet. 12 and a half miles, I mean. Sorry, not feet. 12 and a half feet's a good stop.
Oh, earlier when she turns around the bridge, man, like, as a van enthusiast, I don't know how she fucking shit whips this
Oh,
thing.
the 180.
I mean,
pretty
she
much.
does
Yeah.
an e-brake that should flip this van.
Yes,
She's
She
a
does.
professional stunt driver.
Was it before this where he's like, take a right, and it takes a
No,
left or
it's
vice
after
versa?
No,
this.
coming
that's
up.
during the
Oh,
chase
okay.
here.
This
Yeah.
is totally the wrong way.
Because who's going to drive?
How do you do that? Like, I meant to say left, but you said right.
Well, to
Oh, yeah.
blind people,
That is one thing. Like,
big
the
difference.
kid, Billy and Rugger get in the van and they both sit in the passenger seat.
Who's
They're like,
gonna
who's going to drive?
drive?
And that's when Annie comes around and just goes.
Yeah, and that comes around here in a second. But so the two Pikes carjack these old ladies, and that one lady has the biggest fucking
Joker gun.
What
dirty
is this
hairy
gun?
Yeah, Dirty
Joker
Harry.
gun. Yeah,
I
just-
don't know what this gun is. You said Dirty Harry. I was thinking Joker
Like
gun.
a super
I
long
said-
barrel
yeah, that's
38
what-
special or something.
Yeah, I mean,
or
it's
even
a
bigger,
revolver, but like
Oh,
this
do we
this
have
barrel
another gun
does-
specialist?
Oh yeah. We're Arizona people. This barrel does not exist on this gun, as far as I'm aware, outside of.
She
This
made
is
it
a
exist.
Outside
rifle.
of
This is a
the
rifle
Joker.
barrel on a revolver.
Yes, it is. But I loved it, dude. I mean,
oh, his response.
his response, Tector.
They start driving away.
Yeah, this is why, as they drive away, this is why I always vote for gun control.
And then his buddy's
great-
shooting out the window like 2 seconds later.
Yes.
standing on the fucking, or sitting on the fucking door. It's a great line, though.
Yeah.
It is.
From a bad guy that's been shooting most of this movie.
Well, bad guys don't worry about gun control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want this old lady not to have a gun. I already have guns.
And so they do end up finding that Billy does find the sword. And then they're like, woo. And then bullets start flying at them.
And Annie's
She
glasses
Velmas.
get broken.
She Velma's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops, I found him.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
like, I can't drive without my glasses.
And he,
goes,
like,
He
"Luckily
knows,
throws
for-
her
he knows where a
in.
can in the road on the side of the road is, but he doesn't know your glasses just fell right under him.
Well, he
Again,
didn't
like,
have
it's
his, he didn't have his
inconsistent.
tappy stick.
No, he just picked it up.
Tappy, tappy,
Yeah, but he
tappy.
wasn't tappy tap.
All right, so
tapping.
now let's talk about something. Let's talk about the glasses in the room. There are 3 of us currently wearing glasses. One of us that has contacts and LASIKs.
That sucks.
Is there any chance that you without your glasses, you without your LASIKs, are going to be worse than a blind person? at
No.
driving?
Oh, when the driving. Yeah.
No.
Is there any chance? Like, I know that
No.
both
I
of you are
mean,
blind as shit.
Yeah,
Like,
but
my
I
glasses
can
make HD versus non-HD. That's
yeah,
it.
I
This guy just
have
sees
VHS.
shadows and hears,
I have
melons flying
VHS.
by his head.
Okay.
So it's like you have. I took my glasses off and you're what, like 4 feet away from me, 3 feet.
Sure.
You have a red thing on a red face, different colors.
That's just my face, Whitney.
with like circles, black circles around your eyes.
Okay. So you can at least see the
I
shape
just
of a
can't
car.
see details, and I
Yeah.
can assume that
So
I
you'd
still
be-
see.
You'd be driving like in Minecraft.
Yes.
Without your glasses.
I was gonna
on.
say, so for me, I take
No,
my glasses
it's not
off, and it's
boxy,
like
it's
I'm
just
watching Night
blurry.
of the Sharks. And I put my glasses back on, and it's like I'm watching the Dead Heat 4K that we were watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the.
Yeah,
so,
the night-
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like a VHS, that's what I
I
can
think
see
I think the point I'm making has been made. We can all,
She should have
without
driven.
glasses, drive better than a blind person.
Yes.
But hilarity would not ensue that way.
No.
No, we wouldn't get a wrong way
Ah.
chase through Reno.
Yeah,
And he
'cause
does. He starts
this is
running
the
this guy
part-
off the road. And the guy's like, "What's your problem? Are you blind?" And he's like, "Yeah. What's your excuse?"
And this guy does what you should
Driving
do.
normally and
Stop.
This guy slams on his brakes like, I'm just going to let this carry on ahead of me a little bit here.
you
make
go
room
ahead.
for this man.
Just imagine telling somebody later, like, why were you late, dude? Well, I almost got sideswiped by this blind ninja. What?
A blind ninja in a van with a child almost killed me.
Smoke rolling out of the back. I swear to God, Martha.
It was literally like a blind guy driving Cheech and Chong's van down the street.
And this is where we get the part that Bleep just mentioned where the kid was like, and turn right here. I mean left. And he turns right into one-way traffic.
Yes, and these two cars crash here under this arch.
Yeah.
That was definitely not planned.
Okay.
That was not part of the stunt coordination.
You
But they
gotta
were
love
like,
that,
"That's
and they're
cool."
like, keep it.
Yep.
Gotta keep it.
I'm leaving it, right?
Let it roll.
Don't fix that in post.
We fixed it in pre.
Are we in a tunnel?
Yeah.
There's
But
no
so-
tunnels in Reno.
But when they're going
no
down the street, this
basement
little
in the
shitbird
Alamo.
is flipping these dudes off because the Pikes catch up and they're right next to him. And all these cars are very quick to get out of the way. By the way,
yeah.
all these people are paying 100% attention. I guess
Well,
there
it's
weren't cell
Reno.
phones yet, so
It's Reno. They know.
It's
They
the biggest
hear a
little city in the
gunshot,
world.
Like, your head in a
Yeah.
fucking
It's like
swivel.
driving in Tucson. You
Yeah.
fucking pay attention.
and I love it though because when they're driving down and there's cars coming, they're all swerving. But then the reverse shot, it just looks like their cars are all parallel parked. They all pulled off just perfectly.
Like I said, it's Reno. They know.
And they end up flipping the stolen car gets flipped over, crashes into another car and flips. And that's when we get the, are we in a tunnel line? There's no tunnels, so he slams on the brakes and stops a quarter of an inch away from this brick wall.
It's a good stunt, or they shot it in reverse. And either way, it looks cool. I mean, it wasn't.
Oh, I never thought about that.
The only reason I don't think they did shoot it in reverse because you see the weight of this van.
Yeah, it looks like a
Shit.
shift sword. Yeah.
And so somebody just knows how to drive a van.
Maybe
Yeah.
they
Hey,
had.
Game recognizes game, Playboy.
They could have also had like stoppers
Van
where the
drivers
tire
unite.
stops and it's just enough for that like give.
Yeah.
So you had like a blockade before the
Or they
wall
had like
was
one of
there.
those little hooks like on an aircraft carrier.
That's more likely. You got Tom Cruise over there just watching him. Val Kilmer's chomping his gum.
I want to say
You're writing checks your van can't cash.
I want to say I read that there were like 15 or 20 stunt drivers in this scene.
There
and
were
they-
a lot of stuntmen.
so it
I
was,
watched.
I mean,
till the
these are
credit.
people who know what they're doing, so you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, stunt drivers die too.
They can all act like they're in God's good graces, I would say.
And Rutger Hauer thinks maybe I should get my license again.
Yeah, that was pretty easy. It's like riding a bike.
He's staring into a non-existent sitcom camera.
Yeah, the audience laughs. They wait.
Then he kisses the little kid. Oh.
Oh, that's not your son.
Really turned on the audience there, didn't you?
So they go hide out in this bus with this yoga lady, Colleen.
This bus.
This bus has a name.
She's flexible.
Does it?
Oh, yeah, there's a mailbox on the outside that
yeah.
says the name of the bus, the Shangri-La.
Yeah,
This bus also has a phone.
it does.
And yeah, she's just doing yoga all day, and she's like, "Hey, yeah, you guys can hang out here, whatever. I'm friends with Annie. She gives me free drugs."
She's watching a yoga video and then doing the exact opposite yoga.
Yeah.
It's instructional video, and she's like, yeah, I don't need that.
They're like, "Okay, downward facing dog," and she's got her leg up in the air.
Child's pose. I call my own shots.
I don't know. Downward dog's the only one I know. Something about a tree. There's definitely a tree one.
You could probably be like, dude, there is one
learned that
called
from GTA
Happy
5.
Baby. So like you can just start making shit up and see what sticks. Warrior 1.
So they're hiding out in the bus. Rutger Hauer goes to find Frank, and he tells little shitbird, "Protect the women. That'll work."
But Uncle Nick, don't leave me
Everyone
Uncle
leaves me. You know
Yep.
why?
because you're a shitbird.
You're a shitbird.
But this is his turnaround to being a shitbird, which he wasn't a shitbird for very long to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their
Like, they
camping
didn't-
scene and stuff was kind of their bonding moment.
Yeah, which was I remember thinking like I'm glad they didn't make it like when we did Dutch.
Yeah.
how he was a shitbird until almost the near end,
Uh-huh.
and this one he's not so much a shitbird anymore. He's
Jack brought up Dutch too. He was like, he's giving him the same tough love. He's like,
Yeah.
not gonna deal with this
Yeah,
bullshit.
exactly.
You gave me a rock to
It's the
eat. I'm gonna
80s.
spit at your fucking
Fuck
forehead.
He's
yeah.
like, you're not gonna ruin my
That's the
time.
80s.
Yeah.
Tough love was okay.
you.
It still is okay. You just can't spit rock.
I spit hot rock.
Spit hot rock. My favorite rappers are
Rutger
Hauer,
Rutger, and Rutger.
Because I spit hot rock.
Rutger Hauer leaves Billy with the girls at the bus.
Just a normal statement.
And like you said, he's become less of a shitbird at this point. And also at this point, he's out of the movie. So it is like Dutch.
Yeah.
Because the movie's over for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not back until the last couple minutes and he's hogtied. So
Yeah. But he does the same.
Is he tied up to a
bring back-
hockey stick? That'd be awesome.
He does bring back that maneuver, though.
I do love, I don't know if anybody noticed, this is like an extra alert here. We go to the casino and Rutger Hauer's kind of casing the joint, whatever. There's
we
this
talking
guy
about
walking
the
in the
wild
background
ass hair
with that fucking whatever that was.
I think
wanted
this
to write,
guy's doing the soundtrack.
I wanted to write mullet, but it's not a mullet. It's like if Prince had a mullet. I don't know what this is.
It's the D. Schneider.
It's the guy, the groom. With
Yeah.
Yeah, with the super curly giant.
It's the D. Snyder.
We're not gonna take it.
No, we ain't gonna take it.
Speaking of D.
got married
Snyder,
to Reno tonight.
Suck my dick.
speaking of D. Snyder, has anybody ever seen the movie Strangeland?
Yeah,
Yes.
a long time ago.
I don't know if that's an episode or not. If it's just too
I think
gross.
it can be.
Yeah,
I
fuck
think it can be.
We
That's what-
are
that's what
worse people.
October's for.
We are worse
In the
people.
future.
Make fun of anything.
But yeah, that hair. I just had to write. I just wrote insane hair.
I think he's the guy doing this ass rock soundtrack, which is sometimes awesome and sometimes like just inappropriate.
I loved it. I
the
loved
Blu-ray
the score.
menu though. The score is like, yeah, it's butt rock. The Blu-ray menu is like fucking John Candy jazz blues. Like I don't know what the fuck it was. Like I was like, what is this?
It's like Chris Rock fat guy music or Chris Farley fat guy music.
Yeah. No, Chris
Oh,
Rock's not a
dude.
fat guy yet.
I know, but can we just talk about? Can we be
He's a slap
thankful
guy.
that we have not seen Chris Rock in a fat guy suit, a la Martin Lawrence? Like, let's just be
A la-
thankful.
He never reached that
A
point.
la Eddie Murphy.
a la Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, he never got that low.
Yeah. I don't know how.
He tried to be serious, and then he did like some serious movie, and then he did a Jigsaw, I think it was called, or Spiral.
He was.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
like in
that's
the
a couple
Saw
years
universe.
ago.
I've
wasn't
never thought
he?
Chris Rock
wasn't
was
he the
funny my
cop
whole life.
in?
No.
Gosh.
He's
Well,
been
Chris-
a cop in
No,
I was gonna
wasn't
say
serious
gosh. I
cop.
can say fuck.
Wasn't he a cop in
My
one
kid's
of
not
the?
here on this podcast.
Maybe I'm being.
Well,
racist.
no, Spiral is a Saw movie, and he's
Is
a
it
cop in that.
Okay, good. I
It's a
was like,
Saw universe movie. I never saw it. I just know he's a cop. I
I
saw
didn't
the
see Saw.
I saw a trailer and I saw a poster, and I was like, yeah, well, I haven't seen the last 19 Saws, so I'm not gonna see this one.
haven't
I'm
seen
a little
this.
behind.
Also-
Although I hear I need to go back, and I mean this episode's coming out in January. We're recording it earlier, but I hear I need to watch Saw X because people are saying it's really good, and also it takes place between 1 and 2, which I actually liked.
All right.
1 and 2 weren't bad.
Yeah, 1 was great,
weren't bad.
2 was fine. This takes place right in between them, and it kind of explains why he's doing what he's doing, which is kind of what you need in any kind of narrative story.
No, because sometimes you explain how Jason gets around and you realize it's tunnels. Sometimes you explain what Jason is and it's a demonic worm.
So then we have we go
Rock
back
and
to
roll
McCready.
Reno hair.
after Rock and Roll Reno hair, we go to back to McCready and Cobb, who this guy, and I know we talked about him, but he reminds me of like he's like I can't think of the guy's name right now, but the dude from
Is he a
Phantasm.
great big old fat person?
Well, he reminds me of the dude from Phantasm, but fat.
The tall, really,
The really
skinny
tall
dude.
man, like I think he's just called the tall man.
Just all squished down.
But he's like, yeah, he's like a fat version
he
because
got
he is
stung
like
by a
six-
whole bunch of bees.
He's like 6.5 feet tall. He just ate a lot more. He's 15,000 cheeseburgers ahead of the guy from Phantasm.
Yeah, he is.
it's a bag of sandwiches ahead.
But they're talking about, or is it who they talk? He says something about something because I just got the line. The desert is filled with people who had bad attitudes.
I love that line because it makes you think like, oh shit, that's where they
Yeah,
have
Oh,
he's
he's
bodies.
talking to
get-
Cobb about Rutger Hauer, and he's like, "Well, we'll get him to do this," or no, about Frank.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "We'll get him to do this," and he's like, "Well, what if he has a bad attitude?" And he's like, "Desert's full of people with bad attitudes."
Because
man."
then you're like, that's where
I
you hide
wish
the
I
dead
could do
bodies.
this guy's accent, man. Like the way he talks is just excellent. Even in
just do your Southern lawyer accent.
well, no, he
Oh,
deserves
Ace
better
Ventura.
than that. Ace
Ace
Ventura.
Ventura.
I got a wide receiver doesn't watch his jockstrap because he thinks flies are
Flies are
lucky.
lucky.
Like he just has such a great timbre, man. It's very Texan.
But it's also a little lower in tone. He's not so high.
Well, I am.
In this movie alone.
So Rutger Hauer decides to get their attention by doing really good at gambling.
Yeah.
And
Which
so
do you think he like? Is he getting lucky, or is there like? Can he hear colors?
super blind
Like,
magic.
what is
No,
happening?
I can
he's
hear
knowing
colors
what
now.
where the ball's gonna fall.
Yeah,
He knows.
It's
He
his
knows
force
where it's gonna fall.
powers. He's using his Jedi mind trick
Okay.
Yeah,
to
use the
make the
Force.
ball go where it goes.
So
And
now
then,
he owns Anakin Skywalker, but not his slave mother.
Yes.
Got it.
So he sold Anakin Skywalker to the Jedis, and then his slave mother died, and that's part of the why he became Darth Vader.
Then she worked for Captain Hook as Shmi.
and then these casino guys show up and they use their own force powers, but they're fake force powers to make the ball go into a
but
different
he
slot.
can hear the beeping apparently.
Yeah.
This pit boss, by the way, when he gets to tell him like, "Oh, you lose," it's such like an '80s villain.
Black.
Yeah.
It's black.
Yeah, they've got like a magnet thing that he's controlling in his
Magnets?
jacket.
It's probably magnets.
How do those work?
How do those work?
Well, it is. It's some kind of like electromagnet.
Yeah,
'cause
it is.
He cuts the pit boss guy's jacket, and you see the control thing that says 26.
And this
And then he-
ensues the quickest riot you've
Yes, it
ever
does.
seen.
Well, you think it wouldn't? He fucking sword flips this roulette board over, and they see the control things underneath.
But this large black chick grabs the wheel.
All the
she's like,
electronics,
look at
the LED
this!
showing
Look
the
at
28.
this!
Spartacus.
But can I just say right now that
Attica!
that's exactly why dealers have to keep their hands on the tables at all times.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to
Not in
just
89 Reno. They can
not
caress
scratch
their
a
quick-
nipple itch.
Yeah.
He did a quick ball slip though. He was on.
He was on.
89 Reno, you can
There were
scratch
there were
nips,
so
no
many
problem,
truckers
dude.
caps running at this roulette.
Well, and then Nick Cassavetes and his buddy
Dude,
show up.
Hector, and they're like, fuck yeah!
Yeah, they're so excited about this riot. They're like,
and they
we
just
get
start
to.
punching people,
These two
man.
dudes are just standing there.
I love these two dudes, and I wouldn't mind seeing a prequel.
Oh, they are good.
But the two
Lyle
guys,
and Hector?
But the two guys they knock out aren't even part of the riot. They're just watching.
Yeah.
And they just spin them around and knock them out. They're like, yeah, fuck.
They probably
people.
punched the old ladies in front of them. You work your way up to the boss level.
So
Loved
Rutger Hauer sneaks up on the elevator, and these guards try to stop him.
Because he heard the dial tone of when Cobb went up. By the way, did you hear when Cobb went up? He had this two big fellers stand security. He goes,
Yeah.
might as well send me up a broiled chicken and some chocolate pudding.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Okay.
a whole chicken?
Look at that guy.
I know.
He looks like me.
I eat a whole chicken quite often.
if you're not having sides, like a whole
What,
chicken.
sides?
But he said it no nonchalant, like,
I don't think
you better
chocolate-
send up the evening chicken.
I don't think
Yeah.
chocolate pudding is a side.
No, I'm saying there's no sides. You're just eating the chicken.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying as long as you have sides.
What do you want for your side? Chocolate pudding. That's not a side. It's on the side of my whole chicken.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dip my chicken in it. I'm not a monster.
I mean, mole.
Now let me go torture this child.
Mole is a chocolate
Mole.
sauce.
Yeah, but it's not
Spicy.
chocolate pudding. That's a different kind of chocolate.
Put some tapatio in your chocolate pudding, and there's
Ghetto
some
ass mole.
white
That's
ass-
some mole.
I just made chocolate pudding and put tapatio in it. It's mole. It's fine.
peanut butter and hot sauce.
So
It's a
he takes
peanut
out
dipping sauce.
he takes out these two guards upstairs with some more like quick little ninja sword play stuff without taking out the sword at first, at least.
Yeah, he throws it because they're like, "What? Who gave you permission to be up here?" Something along those lines. He throws his walking stick at him. They both catch it, and then he just bonk hits him
That was
with
a
it.
good move.
You
It's
did.
a great
It's a
move.
solid move. Yeah, he's like, I gave myself permission, bitch.
And then he does the fucking Star Wars thing and
That's
just
exactly what I wrote down. He Star Wars is the elevator.
Uh huh.
he,
If you
I
break
didn't-
it will open.
Now, at first he slices it and the
Yeah.
elevator stops and it does, but it doesn't shut off. Then he like sticks the sword into the guts of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Again, it's just the control. It's just the up and down calling button.
for that
So it's-
singular elevator, which
So
is
it's
good.
not going to shut the elevator down, but at least they made him like stab the guts. You know, it's not
Yeah.
just like I sliced it,
He made sure
No,
it
he
was
went in
dead.
deep.
I shot it with a blaster. It doesn't work anymore, or it does, depending on what I need for the story.
Yeah.
And then Lyle and Hector get up there and they see him coming, and then this made me laugh really
That
hard.
was great.
It's like Lyle I think is like shit, and then Hector fuck,
Yeah.
and then together
Shit, fuck.
I did like that.
I'm telling you, give me a fucking spin-off of these guys.
Yeah, no,
Nick
they
Cassavetes
definitely
still alive, right?
they deserve
Yeah.
a prequel.
Yeah, good. He
This,
won't be by the time this airs.
this was the last movie he made before his dad died, so I'm sure his dad was proud.
Has he just not acted since? Like I don't
He
see him
doesn't.
anything.
I don't think he's done a lot. He might be directing.
I was like,
Okay,
maybe he
who
took
knows?
over
Yeah.
Daddy's pot.
I'll look him up a little bit because I like the guy.
I do love Rutger Hauer here. Like Cobb confronts him, and he pulls out the sword and just cuts off his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Dude, so
Everybody is so quick to give them information as soon as he just does one blade movement.
there's a lot
This
of
was a good
exposition in
eyebrow
this movie.
cutting, though.
The
Well, you know
eyebrow
what?
cutting is great.
I'm
'cause
giving
you-
this guy information. I'm like,
little
go
beaded
fuck
blood.
yourself. And he cuts off just my eyebrows. I'm like, you could have anything you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I also do circumcision.
so in
Yes.
Yes, I love the line. I also do circumcisions.
in Ultra HD, you could
That's
see it pretty
some
good. There was
oil.
little blood spots.
Yes,
all
that was
where the hair was cut off.
But as
Yeah.
You know, you
posed-
couldn't see that in VHS.
No, you could
In
not.
the theater, you could, but it was.
they had to
couldn't
show
see
you
it all.
that pile of hair in
But I
case you
love the
missed
pile of
it.
hair on the papers. Just 2 eyebrow pile of hairs after that.
It was
Clean swipe.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
not like a bunch
fun.
of hairs fell.
Yeah.
They're still eyebrows.
2 eyebrows.
He's that fast.
Great, dude.
But yeah.
Remember that he said he does circumcisions.
Yes.
By the way.
I also do circumcision.
Oh, and then he tells him, "Hey, by the way, I suggest aspirin for that headache. What headache?" And then he just
This
fucking
one.
bonks him in the head.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I-
he just punches him,
well,
right?
my first thing was like, well, yeah, we're probably gonna have a headache because you just got your face is cut. You're bleeding. It'll bleed into your head eventually.
No.
Face
how it
trauma
works.
will lead to headaches.
There was no trauma to the face. He just shaved
He's
it.
bleeding.
He just shaved the hairs off. There was no trauma.
There was no lube. He went in raw dog with that sword.
But it was so fast.
That sword's so sharp you don't need lube.
See, well, we'll
It's
the
cursed or
sharpness is the
something.
lube.
that's a cursed sword,
Must
dude.
be cursed.
It's cursed with the KY curse.
So cursed, he swiped it out of the guy's face and it cut off his eyebrows. The curse.
So Rutger Hauer goes and finds Frank, and Frank decides to take the drugs with him. Probably a good idea. I don't know. Make some money.
Collateral.
They were blue.
Collateral.
Take them.
Yeah,
Because he doesn't
exactly.
know it.
He dumps into this thing, and the first thing I thought was, you know, it's good because it's blue, bitch.
Yep.
I mean, he doesn't know that he needs collateral right now, but he's gonna need it because now we get back to Shangri-La, and this chick is stuck in a yoga pose,
Yeah.
and everyone, for whatever reason, everyone thinks that she's just ignoring them.
Rutger Hauer can't smell blood.
See, that's
Exactly,
I'm
dude. That's
sorry.
what Bleep said.
I'm just going back like 5 seconds here. It has to be a synthetic meth or whatever, a designer meth, because it's so they can stay up all night and day and gamble.
Ecstasy?
Yeah, they're gonna gamble.
Could
No,
be X.
they're not gonna fucking
They're going to
gamble on
Harrah's.
ecstasy.
It could be whatever the shit was called from RoboCop 2.
I didn't watch
They
it.
had a whole
remember.
separate drug name. I'm forgetting.
Yeah, it's up
But
and down.
it's
I
like
bet.
juice or
Like,
something
have you guys
like that.
have you guys seen the SNL skit that Aaron Paul was in, where they did like the e meth?
Yeah.
So
No.
it's like the little e-cigarettes. You know,
You know
the
it's-
first ones that were the ones that lit up at the tip.
Yeah. Oh, blue.
Yeah,
Like,
the
yeah.
blue, right? And so people are using that, but they just have like a little bulb on the end, and they're like, "Oh, I love it," because you know whatever, and they're like smoking their meth and they're getting all tweaked out. And at the end of at the end of this fake commercial, Aaron Paul comes on, and that's what he says. He's like, "You know, it's good because it's blue, bitch." So,
Is my paycheck here?
I mean,
Which-
I said
Science,
I said
bitch.
the thing, right? Can I get paid now?
I said, "Bitch, I get extra."
yeah.
It wasn't it science bitch, and he only says it like a handful of
He
times.
says
in the,
"bitch" a lot though. Science bitch is the meme of
yeah, but
that.
it's only a handful of times. But it's what he's most known for that. Show.
Actually, I don't even think he says science bitch. I think it's when he says magnets bitch.
he does say science.
At least
bitch.
he knows how they work.
Okay, so
Yeah, so they end up burning the lab and taking the drugs.
also I feel like that should have exploded more.
Yeah, it probably did when we didn't see it.
They didn't have the budget for that.
I was like, well, now he just got like insurance money.
Yeah.
I don't think they're
I'll tell you,
planning.
there's the money for our deal.
You
I
helped
was
me
gonna
out
say I
there,
don't think
buddy.
they're planning on him being able to collect, but I don't think they're planning on killing him. He just wants to take Frank. But
Oh, they wanna
fucking
kill all
McCready
of them.
can't let it. Well, no, McCready won't let it go. He wouldn't have. He was gonna go get the son and leave,
Uh-huh.
but then they kidnapped the son. Now you gotta,
Well, and they spent all their budget for explosives on the early scenes with the Chinese bottle rockets and all the explosive tricks,
You're right.
all the pranks going
You're
on,
right.
where he learned
Firework
to cook
pranks.
meth when he was just blowing up things. That's how he learned.
That's
You
how
know what?
learn.
It actually sounds about right. You want the guy that used to play with fireworks to make your meth. That's
Yeah.
just, it kind of works.
And you mentioned Harry Ring earlier,
Uh-huh.
the owner of Ring Doorbell Company.
Yeah.
Was he a part of this? Because they're in this bus in the middle of nowhere. They find Colleen's dead body, and then the phone rings, and McCready calls. How does he know they're there?
He's got the ring, reverse ring.
Yeah,
Do you want to look in somebody else's house instead of your house?
he did the math. He
Well,
figured
set up
out
a
how
camera inside
long.
your best friend's house.
The cord might not have been fully connected. It didn't look like it was fully connected on the phone. It looked like it
It
was just
wasn't.
hanging down.
That's awesome. I didn't catch that.
But he did the
he
reverse
wouldn't
math.
know. Hello, operator. Clicking on it. Hello.
He was like, "All right, well, it takes this long to get from this place to this place, and
I
let's
guess
call right now.
Yeah, he's got security cameras at the casino, right? So and he's
And
logged in.
Rutger
He's
Hauer-
logged in via Wi-Fi.
He just counts everywhere he goes, so he knows how to get back.
Yeah.
I just gotta walk
22 steps.
I gotta walk
to-
22,000 steps south.
I love though that the bad guy's hideout is at this. It's a fake place called Winter Haven, which is real here, but it's not there. But it's in Donner Pass. I was like, no, that's foreboding.
Donner party.
Oh, Donner Party of 12.
Not when they leave.
They had to eat something.
Some didn't stay.
Speaking
after
of eating
dinner.
people in Colorado, I got another movie we should do.
Cannibal.
Cannibal the Musical.
Cannibal
Yeah.
musical.
I
think
fucking
you
love that
introduced me to
movie, but
that.
it's stupid as fuck, but it's supposed to be.
So good.
I think it's pretty spadoinkle.
it's a spadoinkle movie for sure.
Well, and I
And we're
love
gonna coin that phrase.
so Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the guys from South Park, for listeners who don't know, made most of that movie in film school, or part of it.
Yeah.
And then when they finished, it was Troma who came along and was like, "Here's some money, finish the movie."
I think it's absolutely an episode because
Yeah.
it's not a great movie, but it's fucking enjoyable.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie, but I know first time I saw it, I was like, "This sucks."
I've showed it to, we've showed it to other people, and like you just look over, like, oh, they're not getting.
You're
this.
trying to gauge how they're responding to
It's
it.
like they're just dead quiet, and it gets done. They're like, that was stupid. Like, yeah,
Well, we'll get there
It's a
when we do the
musical
episode.
about the Donner Party. That's a
Yeah.
comedy.
No, it's not the Donner Party. It's a different
Well,
case.
oh, it's a-
so
it is
nobody
different.
nobody in the Donner Party, because that was actually in the Sierra Nevadas in California.
Okay.
It wasn't even in, but that's the only case of a convicted cannibal in American history.
Wow.
Was
Was in
Alfred
that.
Packer is a real dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But
oh, the Green Bay Packards.
my favorite part of that movie, and we'll get there when we do the episode, but it's that song where he's singing to his horse, because the horse is named after his ex-girlfriend. So the whole song about when I was on top of you and you look behind you and I'm always there. It's funny.
He's a genius fucking songwriter.
Yeah.
So this is when they're riding up this gondola to the bad guy hideout, the fucking James Bond villain
And
hideout.
we've got
In
fancy
Winter Haven.
Molotov cocktails.
Yes, we
and
do.
that's when he's doing the gasoline mixed with detergent. And he's like, "Oh, it's bathtub napalm," and I'm like, "Wait, is it? Let's do it."
Back to your old firework pranks, aren't you?
I didn't see
Oh,
that in the Anarchist Cookbook.
We did skip over when Rutger does rescue Frank from his little chemistry lab. He does do the talk. He's like,
Yeah.
and then
Creeping
they
behind
talk,
a beaker.
and he's like, or maybe it is right here. Where in the thing, he's like, I needed to forgive you to let you know.
It's right here. It's they
Yeah,
they
it
have
is
a
right here.
brief dialogue in the meth lab, and then they're like, "We got to get out of here. We'll talk on a gondola later."
Yeah. And then this is part where he's
Here
like,
today, gondola.
Nothing bad can
I
happen
didn't
up here.
I didn't need to
It's
do it. I didn't need to do it just for you. I needed to do it for me. I needed
And-
you to know I forgive you.
Am I
That's
the only one
closure.
who thought this gondola looked fake?
No.
No, look.
Okay, it looks
It-
superimposed.
I didn't notice it.
What the fuck does that mean?
Fucking superimposed.
You know, where you have a regular picture and you put another picture on top of it. Superimposed.
So while
Oh,
it's
the loop-de-loop.
moving, yeah, it was
I heard him walk
definitely
away and say,
while
"What
it
the
was
fuck
moving
is
down the
superimposed?"
Yeah.
snowy scene. Yeah, I was like, Derek's gonna complain about that.
I mean, I'm not complaining. It's 1989.
Yeah,
it's fine.
you
I
get
just-
what you get.
And
I
again,
didn't see
it
much
probably
CG
looked.
on that, but there might have been.
It probably looked fine in theaters. It probably looked great
Well,
on
it wasn't
VHS.
CG.
Yeah.
It was superimposed.
Yeah, they didn't even have CG. I mean, they were
It was
using
film over film.
Yeah, they were. But this is a Blu-ray that we were watching, so
Isn't yeah?
I forgive a lot
89.
of these things nowadays because I'm like, well,
You
I'm
have
watching
to.
these
Think of
movies
the
on
era.
Blu-ray and 4K that weren't meant to be that way.
Yep.
This
Sometimes you
is
see a wire.
Not
By the
like
way-
Tammy riding a T-Rex.
oh god, it's way better than that.
Well, there's a part in here we're gonna get to that's pretty rough.
Ugh.
But so the gondola arrives and then it immediately gets shot up like fucking Sonny
30
Corleone.
men are shooting at this gondola.
I mean, there is a lot of bullets going. through.
Everybody is there.
Yep.
That's all I could think when it was happening because they just keep shooting and it's cutting back and forth. I was just like, James Caan is getting shot right now.
One I really picked out though was the guy with the automatic Uzi who was just doing one shot at a time with everyone else. He's just auto, just one.
Well, they only
one,
gave him. They
one.
didn't give him enough bullets. He's like, I don't want to run out before the end.
He forgot
I only
to
got 30 in
reload.
this clip. Damn it!
He couldn't.
Shit.
He forgot to point down.
Yeah, he didn't shoot off
You
screen.
didn't shoot off screen.
And I think it's
Dude,
one of the
down, not over.
I think it's one of the
shoot
Pike
me.
brothers,
Right?
Who says, probably Nick Cassavetes because he had more lines, who says, that thing's got more holes in it than my dad's rubber.
Oh yeah.
My dad wore a rubber.
Yeah, our dad wore a rubber.
Oh, I didn't see who said it. I just heard it.
I
off
heard it.
screen.
I didn't see who said it.
I think it was off screen.
But we're
it-
talking about brothers, so it's
Yeah.
probably them.
They had the most speaking lines, and it had that whole, like, you hook kind of sound to it. So-
They were good. They were good the whole time.
Oh,
I
love
love
those
them.
guys. And he does Rutger Hauer. So they snuck out through the bottom, and then when he's confronts them, or when Rutger Hauer's attacking them, he sticks this sword into Nick Cassavetes' mouth.
Yeah, dude, I thought he was gonna give him like Joker
face,
smiles,
right?
dude.
You know how I got these scars? Exactly.
A blind swordsman once held me hostage.
You spend a lot of time with him, don't you?
A little bit.
A lot of knife play.
And then Tector accidentally shoots Lyle. And then Lyle's like, yeah, well, fuck you, and shoots his own brother. Right
Oh, fuck you. I wanted both of these shots to be non-lethal. Like, I like the idea of being like, did you just shoot me? I shoot you back. But I don't like them dying over it.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
They're two
bullet
good
to the head.
characters, you know?
Did anybody
Yeah.
else here think, so Cobb is there with them, and he's wearing a cowboy hat, and he's shooting from the shadows. Did anybody else think it looked like Donald Trump with a cowboy hat?
Yes, and black gloves, OJ gloves.
Yeah, he's got the fucking Jalo gloves, and he's firing, and he's like Donald Trump from the shadows.
We've got some wonderful assassins here, the best.
You'll never tell anybody what you saw at
We have a special
Mar-a-Lago.
guest later. You won't even guess who it is. He's an assassin. He's the best.
The best.
Don't worry, the movie is featuring him. It said right at the beginning. But don't worry, I think he's American. Oh, he's Japanese?
Oh,
Okay, who set this up?
Get him out of this movie.
Get him out. He's not some really good people.
So Rutger Hauer is in this like concert room. I don't know what this is. This like band room.
Yeah, it's the
And
hall.
he's-
It's the multi-purpose hall, but it was set up for some. You know what? This is the big hair Reno guy because there are glittery drapes all over this fucking place, man.
definitely
Yeah.
the groom.
And just some ass rock lighting set up.
and
Yes.
he's
That's the
tripping over the
reception. He's playing.
For
And then-
tonight's reception, we got a musical guest. It's me.
So this is where Frank takes off again.
Yeah,
There's a
Rutger
gunfight.
Hauer
Oh, just
thinks
running
like,
away
literally
like a
right after
biatch.
he's like, "I'm here to forgive you," and then Frank disappears again, and he's like, "This motherfucker."
And then he has flashbacks
Yeah.
from when he ran off before.
You're taking all the bombs with you.
Devereaux.
Yeah.
Devereaux.
I miss your explosive pranks.
Run.
Leave me with one
Explosive
bottle rocket.
pranks just makes me think of was it Three Ninjas? That's the diarrhea cup. Don't drink out of that one.
That was a very explosive prank.
So and then like somehow like he's surrounded by everybody now. And
Yeah, they
it's
all
just
surround him, and he turns on the party
one
lights.
clicks a gun at a time.
And he knows he's pretty fucked.
But Rutger Hauer accidentally turns on party lights, which makes this next scene. It's really cool. Like
I was like, why are lights being turned on? He can't see shit.
He
well,
didn't know.
it's
He didn't know.
He didn't know at all. It's the cinematography though of like the flashing lights. It gets dark, it gets light, it's red, it's blue, and he's just like sneaking through these shadows, taking these dudes out.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucking
so
awesome.
it is Devereaux that takes like the circuit
Yes.
or whatever out. Okay.
Devereaux
Yeah.
actually like, and
I
then
thought
he
so,
shuts
but-
everything down, and then everybody is standing in a circle and just starts shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all
Cobb's
fire.
like, stop.
Yeah, and then you've got Cobb over there like, stop firing.
Don't shoot. We're going to hit some good people. That guy had a Confederate flag tattoo like him.
And then
He's my favorite.
And then Rutger fucking slaughters everybody.
Yeah, he does. He
Frank
goes to town.
Frank is throwing flares out there
Yeah.
to like distract everybody.
And well, wait,
Because
remember
the
that
bright- the
circumcision
flashing
line
lights-
we said to remember?
Yes. Uh-huh.
He gets Cobb and just puts his sword on that guy's dick and runs it
All the
straight
way
up
up.
his
Yep.
body.
There's
I
another
mean,
really
it's
cool
the wrong
move.
kind of circumcision, but he did say he would do
You've
it.
heard
Yes.
you've heard like scrote to throat, but this is straight up balls to
This is- yeah.
There's another move he did, and it was a beautiful. He does a beautiful ballet with this sword at this
He's
moment.
fun to watch with this sword.
But there's one part where he has the blade on one side of the neck and then circles it around and then
Oh,
throws
that's
it
much
really
out.
how,
cool.
it's much how he cut off the fucking cop's hand with the gun.
Yes,
like he
it
runs it,
was-
all the way
Again,
across.
I just envision a little man right in front of him while he was
Yeah.
doing it.
So
Doing
does
it.
he.
So does he.
So does he.
He's like, fuck that guy. Always throwing melons at me.
Are we golf clapping? Are we golf clapping?
Golf clap. Oh man.
And then he does get up to McCready's office, and McCready's got the line, "You're a walking advertisement for hiring the handicapped."
You're a
Yes,
walking
you are.
time for hiring a handicap.
But
I
I got
might need
my
a couple like you.
shotgun to this bull's face.
This is the
And-
weirdest way to hold a shotgun.
Yes, it is.
It's the weirdest way I've ever seen. It works. It'll work. It'll kill.
It
will
will.
kill.
Yeah, it'll kill, and then it'll fly out of your fucking hand.
Yeah.
It's one of those videos of people shooting that have never shot before. Oh, there it goes.
And now we get this awesome.
Sho Kasugi,
Yeah.
who's credited as the assassin. This is like
He's
an hour
Bruce
and
Lee's
13
brother.
minutes into this
Yeah, he
movie.
is Bruce Lee's
Oh
brother.
my God! It's Bruce Lee's brother with a steel fucking katana.
And it's like an hour and 13 minutes, I think. And he's in the movie for 2 minutes, but he was in the opening credits as also featuring
Which
or
is
whatever.
what made me think he's a big fucking deal somewhere.
I think one of the things I
He
read.
made some fucking money.
So Rutger Hauer's
Good for him.
website said that he learned his like sword play and stuff from that Lyle Manning guy. But another thing I read said that Sho Kosugi did a lot of it, helped him with a lot of it too.
On set, maybe. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
he
you
was
got
doing
some
this
good
because he was
instruction,
training
but-
for like 10 weeks before they started shooting this, and then he was still training every day while they were
Yeah.
shooting. So, which it shows.
I appreciate the work.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else Sho Kosugi is in that you may have seen, and if you haven't, you will.
Cop Rock.
No, but a movie,
Beauty and the Beast.
a movie
Renegade.
called No, a movie.
I heard all
90210.
these references recently on your guys' podcast while I was listening. So
This is all we watch.
Melrose Place.
Melrose Place. No, he was in Black Eagle, which is a Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Don't know yet. Hard yet.
Yes. So we get Sho Kosugi versus Rutger Hauer here, which is the most like evenly matched fight in this movie.
Oh, he paid good money to see
Rutger
this
Hauer's
fight.
destroying people with guns.
It's I don't know if it's racist or not. Rutger Hauer grabbing his face and going, "Oh, you're Japanese, huh?"
oh yeah,
You know what? We decided
He just
it's
brails
not
it on
racist
his
if
eyes.
it's accurate.
yeah. He just rails it on his eye
He
structure.
brailed
like-
your face. You're a big Scottish drunk, aren't you?
I can feel that bulbous nose.
I feel that alcohol nose. Are you
smell
related
it.
to Bill Clinton?
So while they're fighting, this setup is terrible. By the way, there's a hot tub with a sun lamp above it on an arm that's much less steady than the arms on these microphones.
But at least it's labeled very safely. These big giant buttons read hot tub, sun lamp. So like,
Yeah.
when they get pushed, you know what's happening.
Well, I'm assuming fucking McCready is sitting in the hot tub with the sun lamp on. That's a terrible idea.
I need to hydrate Ambutan.
I don't think you hydrate in a hot tub. I think that's how you die,
Nope,
Matthew
I'm
Perry.
hydrating.
Oh.
He was not a swimmer.
So the sun lamp goes into the hot tub. There's electricity everywhere, and then Kisugi gets knocked into said hot tub.
First, he flips, and you do see the treadmill. You do see
trapeze.
The trampoline.
the trampoline.
Oh.
You do see the trampoline in the shot that he does a big ass flip or
Oh,
a
I
jump
didn't see-
from.
I
Oh, I
didn't
didn't
pay
see the
that
Yeah,
attention.
so
But
you
it
see it in the
also-
shot, but maybe it's like exercise room as
could
well.
be dress setting.
But why would you
Yeah.
have the like
Set
it,
dressing.
It's like crooked. It's like at a 45. Or
They
at
were
like
fighting.
So McCready
got
uses
moves.
that to hop into the hot tub.
You see me jumping around all nimbly bimbly from hot
call
tub
it
to
a
hot
hot
tub.
tub.
It's my hop tub. That's so stupid. You're not allowed to make stupid jokes. That's my thing.
I immediately saw the fucking trapeze.
Trapezius.
The trapeze bar. I'm like, who has a trapeze above a hot
Hey,
tub?
this is a wild ass
So he,
gym.
he trampolines
Trampoline
onto the trapeze,
to the trapeze.
does an aerial, and lands in the hot
Did you
tub.
think that
Yes.
maybe somebody was going to get pain
Sex?
and gained with just a fucking weight
Oh,
to the
yeah.
skull?
Yes,
And it almost
I-
hits him. Like there's a
it
couple
does.
close
But
calls.
before he does go into the hot tub, they're just dancing around in the corner. They're
There's
just
a
like
couple times
nimbly
where
bimbly just
Rugger- nimbly bimbly.
they are nimbly bimbly sword fighting.
And Frank ends up disabling McCready, and Tex is there, and he shoots Rutger Hauer.
Told
who
you
then,
you can't stop bullets.
Yeah, who then
Oh,
proceeds
wait.
to slice him out of a window.
Real quick, we did have the be-mulleted gentleman that's going to buy the drugs, right? And
Yeah,
he's like,
he
"Look,"
was like, "I'm out."
he's like, if you get them, sell them to somebody else. And then they leave, and McCready gives Tex Cobb like a nod, and did he go kill them?
Yes.
I think so.
All right. It's a weird thing. Like, what about my
Yes.
drugs? No. Well,
He just went
Fuck you,
and
then.
kickboxed them
You
to
know
death.
too much.
his kicks weren't that good.
You know
No.
too much.
Yeah.
And then Tex Cobb falls out this window 40,000 feet to his death, however high this fucking mountain
Slice in
is.
half, Jack. Slice in half.
Yes.
Reminiscent of.
Oh
Of
my
Darth,
gosh.
It's
Yes.
like Darth Maul.
Yeah, this
so
is a
now,
Darth Maul kill.
Randall Tex Cobb is going to come back with spider legs.
But then eventually he gets human legs,
And then
he
he's
shows
going to
up in
get his,
Solo.
his robot
Human
legs. Still
robot
robot
legs.
legs.
They're-
Mama
yeah.
Towson does her night magic with this fucking forced ichor, and she's going to give him magic legs.
Whitney's like, what?
Blind Fury. The
Lieutenant
legs
Maul,
awaken.
you got magic
You
legs.
know, I didn't know that Darth Maul was still alive until I saw Solo, and he showed up, and I was like, wait, what? And I had to go and Google it, and I was like, oh, he's got robot legs.
Trust me, when Solo came out, people were texting me like, I have questions. Darth Maul, question mark?
Google's got answers.
Yeah, most people just hear me.
So Cobb's dead. McCready's defeated.
Slag is dead.
Yeah, that's Slag Cobb.
Slag is Cobb.
But the other Cobb
Tex
is dead
Cobb.
also.
Oh yeah, the other Cobb. The
All
guy who's
Cobbs.
character Cobb. All the corns on the Cobbs are gone.
So it's just McCready.
Yeah, and he gets disabled. I guess he's no longer a
during
threat.
the fight. He Rutger no longer has his katana, his sword thingy.
Oh, the little kid throws it to him.
This is where it comes back to him doing the frog thing.
He
gets
throws
his
the
hands
fucking
off.
sword or the
Catch.
walking stick, and it just whoop right through. I mean,
It's kind of like when we were watching the retirement plan, except he doesn't catch it.
exactly. I don't know why I expected him to catch it. I thought for sure.
I knew he wasn't going to catch it, and I knew he was going to go for the actual katana.
But I love that it lands in the. Oh, he goes for different. He goes for
Yeah,
different
Kasugi's.
katana.
Okay, I was like,
Yes.
it landed in the electrified hot tub. How did he get
No,
it?
it was on the.
Nope.
His dropped right on the ledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. So then that's over, and we're at the end of the movie. Frank and Annie and Billy are a happy family now.
Yep.
And they're all gonna go to
Too happy.
a little too.
where are they going? I don't know. Somewhere on
They're
the bus.
going to San Francisco.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Alcatraz.
Yeah.
That's
They think
right.
that bus is going to take him to Alcatraz? It's an island, you idiots. Can't take a bus to
And Rutger
Alcatraz.
Hauer's in line with them, but they get on the bus.
But he's not
and he
with
bails.
them.
No.
He's
like,
like
But
five
yeah, did he
people
go
behind
separately
him.
And he
to get
accident-
to go to San
They bought their
Francisco?
tickets, and he's like, "Oh, thanks." And they're like, "Oh, we didn't get yours," and he had to run.
Well,
over and buy
that's why he's
his.
walking away. I'm like, they don't need me. Look at him standing
well,
up
no,
there.
he
Well, I
drops
can't
his
look at him.
ticket.
Yeah, he dropped
Well, he
it.
ends up dropping it, yeah, and
He's
walks
done with
away.
it.
Intentionally.
He just walks like Froggers through this traffic, and nobody hits him.
Yeah, he does.
And,
Billy runs
Billy's
after him.
chasing him, and then he disappears behind the bus. But we find out he just jumped into the wash.
Yep. I hate
Just real
you.
quick.
I hate you.
And then so the kid throws. He
That's
somehow
a Scottish
got the,
goodbye when you just run into a ditch.
Okay, Irish goodbye is when you leave without saying goodbye. Scottish
You just
goodbye is when you jump into a ditch.
Like it's a bog or something. I don't know. There's a lock around here.
But yeah, somehow Billy has the fucking
I think he gave it back to him
Triceratops.
when they were camping. 'Cause he's
Yeah.
talking about how your dad should be proud
Oh,
of you.
and it's
for
only
yeah.
important
this.
because it's about to come up. But he's like, I wish I could cry. You know,
yeah.
Rutger Hauer to the little kid.
Yeah,
he's
'cause
like,
he says
I'm
his tear ducts
crying,
don't
you know,
work
and he's like, yeah, I
anymore.
wish I could cry.
Although, real
strong
quick,
men aren't
as
afraid to
he's
cry.
talking about how his tear ducts don't work, they're showing the shot of him, and his eyes are very wet.
Yeah.
He's not putting in eye drops all the time.
Oh no.
Either way.
Moister than an oyster.
Wait, they talked about his tear ducts not working?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they
we
were
made that
camping.
joke at some point, and I
He
don't
tells the
when we
kid
were watching it.
When
but
he's crying because he's hurt or whatever.
Yeah, he
Oh,
tells
I-
the kid, he's like, I fucking wish I could cry, you little shit. haven't
And
cried
he
in
tosses,
years.
and Billy tosses the Triceratops. Rutger Hauer catches it.
Just like that first meeting.
he's like,
and he gives
Elib?
him-
Who the fuck is Elib?
It's awesome.
And
you.
he hears the kid say, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you," whatever.
Yeah, they're having this dialogue just off camera from each other. He's up and he's in the Scottish bog.
He's down.
And yeah,
a
so
seat?
Elib, you know, Elib,
Have a seat down here.
Elib made him cry because now
We
all
all
of a
have a
sudden,
seat
do
down
not
here.
hey Georgie, we all have a seat down here. But yeah, now he's able to cry by the magic of Billy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like
in
Billy no
one
longer has
single tear.
allergies
Those tear
because he
ducts.
spent all that time outside.
Yeah,
Well,
go
we-
outside to get rid of your
Well, he
allergies.
left Florida.
You see all
he was
this
allergic
green
to
out
Florida.
here?
Oh, that's true.
He's
And then
allergic to meth.
no bus driver would do this.
Not blue
And they're
meth.
Like,
Oh, we
Not
talked
blue
about
meth.
this. Like, what fucking bus company is doing this? You got Terry O'Quinn telling the bus driver where to go.
yeah. And then he just like, stop right here. There he is. He's right there. And then he opens it and it's like,
It's
oh
all
my
smooth,
God,
not even
yeah.
like you.
That
ran
bus
away to
driver
go-
would
You
have
know
given
what?
you two options: sit the fuck down or get off the bus.
Yep.
We're
You know
not
what
doing
though?
this.
These bus drivers don't follow any rules because earlier when they got to one of the bus stops and they were stopping and opening the door, Billy is getting out of that bus before
Yeah.
the bus is stopped.
You know what? He was behind the yellow line. That's all I give a shit about as a driver.
Yeah.
the yellow lines on the outside of the bus.
Yeah.
And-
the yellow line on the road.
And then we do not get a freeze frame.
No, Rutger
No, but we
Hauer
do
though
get a
walks off
good-
into the sunset on the
We
side
got
of
the
the road.
Rambo
Japanese.
Yes,
First
very
Blood.
like
Lone
samurai
swordsman type of
movie or
samurai.
lone gunman western. Westerns
Yeah.
are basically just samurai movies
Yeah.
remade.
He's walking the opposite direction of John Rambo. They pass by each other.
I loved you in Wall Street.
And then Rutger Hauer said, take a bath. God, you fucking
Cut your hair.
stink.
And
can
there was
smell your
supposed
haircut.
to be a sequel. I mean, there's 10,000 Zatoichi movies. This one's specifically based off like the 17th one called Zatoichi Challenged.
That's what really picked up, dude.
But there was supposed to be more. There was a planned sequel and everything, but obviously dead in the water when you lose $8 million on a $10 million movie. So
Was Zatoichi always a blind swordsman or no?
yeah.
Oh,
he was
okay.
blind from
Always.
the. I mean, I
So
haven't
it's a-
seen the first one, so I don't know if he got blind in the movie.
It
like
sounds
this,
like he
but
did.
This was roughly based on Zatoichi Challenge, and obviously they're including the origin of how and everything.
So that was why there was a Japanese screenwriter as well. It was just
he's credited. He's
credited.
credited, but if you look at his IMDb credit,
It's on characters.
It's he's credited as the original screenplay or like source screenplay or
Okay.
something like that. So yeah, and then that's the end of that movie.
Yeah.
Oof. I mean, we might have been a little longer than the actual movie.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure
probably.
We'll edit.
Maybe.
This movie is very short.
That's what I mean. Like it's tight.
We've never gone shorter than this movie. Oh
I
no, you
didn't-
know what? That's not true. Night of the Sharks was shorter than this movie.
I didn't feel any length.
No.
All right, so we're gonna go around. Wife.
So, like I said, I fucking love this movie. I definitely give this 2 thumbs up. Not the third. I give it just 2. Hold on. Wait.
No.
Simmer down. I do wish that I had somebody to watch this with to enjoy the humor and the laughter. But again, I watched it by myself and I still recommend it.
I think that watching it with Bleep helped out immensely. It would have been fine on my own, but yeah, I think you would have enjoyed it more watching
Yeah.
it with any of us. You
And-
know, or just anybody to have a beer with too.
I try to get that little bitch to
Oh,
do
she would
it.
have loved it. It's so recommendation for me. Doesn't matter alone or with people, but with people's better.
Better.
There's a movie that we watched recently, maybe a year or two ago, and it was Under Siege. And when I was watching it, I was skeptical. Had a little charm. This movie has a lot of charm.
Yeah.
And I like 80s and 90s charm, and this was like 89, 90, somewhere around there.
89.
Yeah,
It has
89.
that 80s charm that I just love.
You love it.
Action, and it just well done. Highly
Rutger Hauer
recommend.
is much more charming than Steven Seagal.
Yes.
As far as I know, he never kept anyone in a basement against their will. So
Not against their will, dude. They all signed up.
He did. He also did do Blind Twinkle Toes.
he does. He does twinkle and toe. I'm gonna recommend it too. I thought it was great. I have seen it before. I didn't realize until I was like looking at stuff. I was like, oh, I have seen this movie. I love this movie. This is fun.
This is going to be on my rotation of just watching when I have people over, and you know, especially if you've already seen it, we can just drink and talk
Yeah.
during
Yeah,
certain
and you can-
parts. It's
so-
like, oh, wait for a second. Now we can talk again.
You can
Yeah.
get it streaming, right? Where did you guys? Did you rent
Prime.
it?
I rented it on Prime.
Okay.
But
It's
we had
streaming
just been
with-
streaming it.
It was free on something, and we tried to watch it, but we were just fucking hammered, and we talked through the whole thing, and both me and Bleep were like, we got to watch this. But then they took it off of free, so I spent like $3 on renting it, and no regrets.
No
well,
regret.
it's also available the way I watched it. Kino Lorber, who's another one of these DVD people or Blu-ray people, I got it from them on Blu-ray, and it's still available because I looked it up to make sure it had subtitles because she was complaining about no subtitles. And it's still available out there, so you can get it that way too. But it's
Or
probably
Whitney's
the same copy.
VHS. She has a VCR that she was watching it on.
Come over,
She-
have
if
a
you can figure out subtitles for it, she'd be stoked.
bring a fucking 6-pack of Tab.
Ooh.
Maybe you guys crack into some Zimas, watch a VHS. I don't know. It's wild times.
No, Bartle and James, babe.
What about that popcorn that was different colors that you didn't see it until Pop Secret did something?
Yeah, Pop Secret.
That when you microwave the bag of popcorn, you'd open up and each bag was a different color.
I want to say that was 91,
And it
92.
was just
Gross.
after this, Rutger Hauer wouldn't have known.
No. Why does this popcorn taste like colors?
You got green. There
It
was
tastes blue.
green, red, and blue were the colors. I
Yeah.
got my mom bought them for us.
I loved it. It was fun. It's a happy little time to be alive. Not anymore.
I don't know what we're doing next week yet. Haven't thought that far ahead.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'll
I
be a
have,
surprise.
but I wrote it down somewhere and I don't remember.
I wouldn't mind having Bleep back if he's interested.
Yes, Bleep.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
have fun?
He had a great time. It was awesome.
That is fantastic. We do need to get Bleep on here also. The other
and
Bleep.
Blop.
For what movie does she want to do?
Demon Knight.
Demon Knight.
Oh yeah, I would like to do Stone Cold. That would be one I'd be way into.
Stone Cold
Okay.
belongs in the upper echelon of
Yeah.
our catalog.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think I do remember now. Next week I plan on doing a movie called Nightmare at Noon, which I've discussed before. You watched it with
Dude,
me,
that's
wife.
too early for a nightmare.
That's about
It's-
when I get mine.
it has Brian Thompson.
Really?
It has the other Brian James,
I was
Brion,
really hoping you were going to say Dennehy.
the one from Fifth Element that plays the general, and we've seen him in other stuff too.
Isn't that Byron or is it Brian?
No, it's Brian.
Okay.
Okay, that
R-Y-O-N.
movie. Yes.
Cherry 2000 he was
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he plays an albino mad scientist.
He is an albino mad scientist.
Yes, he is.
It's an awesome movie. It also has George Kennedy as a cop.
Okay.
So it's fun.
It has Cole Hauser's father.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Something Hauser.
Rutger
Yeah.
Hauser.
No, it's an off name as well.
Oh, this Dutchman too. Where did he get his English accent? He's great.
But yeah, so Nightmare at Noon will be our next
Learn to
episode.
speak English.
Welcome back. This is season 2. As we said, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New
This is
Year.
finally our
Happy New
season
Year.
2. We had a longer season 1 than Melrose Place.
You
but
might be
it's
happy
okay.
to know we're the same worst people.
Yeah,
We
we
are.
didn't get any better. Don't forget to check out Evasion. They provide our opening and closing music. Find us at badmoviesworstpeople.com. Everywhere you get streaming. Tell your friends. If you don't tell them, I'll kill you.
See? Worst people. Nothing
As
changes.
usual, if you run down to Harbottle Brewing, you will get $1 off your pints.
So that's it for this week.
You don't have to run there.
You can drive.
You can drive.
Yeah, you can even walk.
You can
You
Uber.
should probably Uber.
Yeah.
This is something people do. They drive to the brewery. They have a couple pints, and they walk their happy butts over to Swap Meet.
Oh, I've made that stroll. It's quite nice.
It is quite nice, especially at this time of year.
Yes.
So that's it for this week. I have been Derek.
I'm still Whitney.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Bleep.
I don't know.
Good night and go bleep yourself.
Go bleep yourself.
This blade is cursed.
At one point, watching old lady porn just became my age. I was like, oh yeah, that's with me.
You're like, wait, do I have to look up MILF now?
I'm a gilf now.
Over 40 hand jobs every night with me.
Okay.
If you've thought about recording a podcast before, but like myself, realized you need a lot of different tools and services, well, those days are over. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in one place and easily distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. You can record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests and feel a sense of zen knowing that Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Go to Zencaster.com/pricing and use my code WORSTPeople. That's WORSEPEOPLE, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experience I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.